is we get stuck outside and cherry pickers.
We're good now. We're good to go now.
Are we ready to go live?
It's streaming. Yeah, we're ready whenever you want.
Well, we got good to be a free crew tonight. We're doing some talking.
All right. Let's see here. Well, good evening, and beyond our control, TDS outage area-wide for a couple. Absolutely cripples our radio broadcast and, of course, the stream that emanates from the radio station, WFIV.com. But thank goodness we have at our disposal the Oak Ridge contest and the opportunity to bring it to you on 105.3 WFIV's YouTube channel. Commercial breaks tonight, so it's going to be kind of fly by the seat of your pants as myself and Brett Clendenin, Tyler Carr fill a little additional time this evening. But unfortunately, the pre-recorded pregame is not available. Part of that would be the interview with head coach Jeff Courtney, and so I will try to relate as much as I can of what Coach Courtney had to say this morning when we recorded that here prior to the game, but also just as the night goes on. But we want to start basically as we would have some half hour ago had we been on the radio. And that would be simply by telling you it's the Admirals and Oak Ridge Wildcats renewing one of the Volunteer State's great high school football rivalries. They're clashing for the 51st time in the last 49 years. Dating back to 1977, this is a series that has produced a slew of memorable matchups and stellar performances. Over the years, Farragut and Oak Ridge have been on-again, off-again members of the same district or region, and tonight they square off as region foes for the first time since 2016. While Oak Ridge is undefeated with a shot at the Region 2 6A title, Farragut has struggled this season, entering the evening with a 2-6 record following last week's disappointing loss at Cookeville. But despite the atypical overall record for the Admirals, with a win tonight and another next week at 1-7 Cleveland, Farragut could find itself in a 2- or 3-way tie for second place in the region. So in addition to bragging rights and tradition, there's plenty on the line as Farragut celebrates its seniors, celebrates homecoming, and hopes in a few hours to be celebrating the biggest win of the regular season, what would be for the Admirals their fifth in the last 6 matchups with their old rivals from Oak Ridge. You look back at last year and the game played at Blankenship Field. Farragut returned the opening kickoff. Ethan Farragut, 96 yards on the kickoff return. Shades of Tommy Carter in 1981, who returned the opening kickoff here at Farragut against Oak Ridge. That night, the Admirals would go on to win 35-7, and that snapped the longest winning streak in Oak Ridge football history. The 2-time defending state champs see a 29-game winning streak go by the wayside that evening. Farragut with a run, a kickoff return that was certainly reminiscent of Tommy Carter. Later on Farragut's first actual offensive possession, a 75-yard touchdown pass from Corbin Hobson to Landon Collins made it 14-0. On the next possession for the Admirals, a 69-yard drive, which was capped by Randon Miller's 3-yard touchdown run. The Admirals up 21-0 with 11:57 to go in the second quarter. And on their next possession, a 67-yard drive with Charlie Noble scoring on a 29-yard run. Farragut up 28-0 with 3:22 to go in the half. Oak Ridge would score a couple of touchdowns in the second half to produce the final score of 28-13. It was for Oak Ridge Demillion Porter scoring late in the third quarter on a 5-yard touchdown run. And then Oak Ridge on a short field only had to go 47 yards for their second touchdown. Again, it was Porter, this time from 21 yards out. And again, the final score was 28-13. Back to this year, And Farragut is trying to get back on track after having its modest 2-game winning streak snapped last week at Cookeville. The game started in promising fashion for Farragut with a time-consuming drive that the Admirals set up first and goal at the 1. Stopped short of the goal line on a first down rush. Farragut bowled its way into the end zone on a quarterback sneak on second down, but the White Hat called the Admirals for aiding the runner, a 5-yard penalty which Farragut failed to overcome, having to settle for a 29-yard field goal from Ryan McHugh. The Farragut defense followed with a 3-and-out series, and after a brilliant 53-yard punt by Cookeville's Gavin Lentz, the Admirals took back over at their 23, moving for 3 first downs. A pair of penalties ended up thwarting the drive, and McHugh came on to boot a career-long 50-yard field goal, just the 6th in school history of 50 yards or more. So with 10:13 to play in the second quarter, Farragut had dominated the early going but only led the Cavaliers 6-0. Cookeville would get untracked on its second possession, marching 84 yards and scoring on an 18-yard 4th-and-1 run by Blake Barrett. So just like that, the Cavaliers had a 7-6 lead, which quickly grew to 13-6 when on the first play of Farragut's following possession, cornerback Jackson Jones stepped in front of a sideline hitch pass, made the pick, and returned it 24 yards to the house. The PAT was missed, but Cookeville would maintain the 13-6 advantage heading into halftime and also into the fourth quarter. Then to open the fourth, Barrett ripped off a 60-yard touchdown gallop, extending the Cavaliers' lead to 20-6. A little over 6 minutes later, Farragut fought its way back into the game with a 45-yard scoring strike from Corbin Hobson to Max Garfield. Needing a stop, the Admirals instead saw Barrett quickly answer for Cookeville with his second 60-yard touchdown run of the fourth quarter, his third rushing touchdown of the game. Trailing 27-13 with 4:34 remaining, Farragut was by no means out of it, but could not afford the fumble that followed on the ensuing kickoff. Recovered by the Cavaliers' Hunt Reese, Cookeville took possession at the Farragut 17. The Admiral defense did well to force a field goal, but Gavin Lentz converted a 28-yarder, putting Cookeville up 30-13 with 3:38 to play. Those would be the final points of the night as the Cavaliers picked up their second win of the season while Farragut fell to 2-6. As for Oak Ridge last week, the Wildcats hosted Hardin Valley in a Region 2 6A matchup. After limiting the Hawks to a single first down on the game-opening possession, Oak Ridge quickly covered 65 yards, scoring on a 41-yard hookup between Blaine Stansberry and Jarrell Jimerson. The Wildcats would extend their advantage to 14-0 on their third possession of the night, a 58-yard drive culminating in a 5-yard touchdown run by Wayne Gibson. Hardin Valley responded with a 61-yard touchdown pass on a halfback option from Nicholas Rivers to Brody Lamb, cutting the Wildcat lead in half. After a missed 53-yard field goal try by Oak Ridge, the Hawks' Riley Matz connected with Rivers on a 59-yard completion, which led to a 32-yard field goal by Logan Holbrook as Hardin Valley pulled closer still at 14-10. The Wildcats opened the second half with a 15-play, 80-yard drive, quarterback Blaine Stansberry sneaking for a 1-yard touchdown to put Oak Ridge up 21-10. Later, the Wildcats would see the Hawks block a 38-yard field goal attempt, but Hardin Valley's offense could only muster 3 first downs in the second half as Oak Ridge improved to 8-0 on the season with a 21-10 victory. The Wildcats 4-0 in the region while Hardin Valley dropped to 1-4, the Hawks 3-5 overall. In last week's other games involving Region 2 teams, Cleveland picked up its first win, defeating Bearden 28-10, and also Maryville handled Science Hill 42-10. Bradley Central, by the way, had last week open. Here's the Farragut Choral Club with a rendition of the national anthem.
Oh, you ensemble. That was beautiful.
Very nicely done. Choral ensemble here at Farragut High School on senior night and homecoming, all wrapped into one bundle on a Thursday night of all times. But we appreciate you being along here on YouTube, 105.3 WFIV's YouTube channel. As again, our apologies that tonight we are unable to broadcast on FM 105.3 WFIV or WFIV.com, as TDS outage has crippled that aspect of our broadcast, but fortunate to have the YouTube outlet, and so looking forward to a great night, perfect night weather-wise, as currently here in West Knox County we've got clear skies and showing 60 degrees, could be down to 50 by the time this game is over. And looking across the way, we've got, let's see, 38.
You've got 15 Elon Pearson, 33 Monty Bishop, 38 JT Gormley, and 74 Elijah Young walking out for captains for the game, or for the Wildcats.
Oak Ridge Wildcats across the way. Those are the game captains. Appreciate that, Tyler. Oak Ridge is going to be in their charcoal gray pants, the white road jerseys with the cardinal numerals, and Farragut yet to emerge. We'll see how Farragut is decked out this evening, but I can tell you that the seniors, with it being senior night, will all back up the 4 game captains that go out for the coin toss. Those young men, the leadership squad on this team, Max Garfield, Noah Haig, Fletcher Haddad, and Owen Petoskey. But 23 seniors, or 19 fellow seniors, will be behind those 4 young men as they head out for the coin toss. So all of those Farragut seniors were recognized as part of the pregame, as well as senior band members, senior cheerleaders, senior Sparkle Club and dance team members as well. But you've got Jackson Plumley, John Haskins, Max Garfield, Zane Qureshi Smith, Noah Haig, Moses Burnett, Connor Paris, Charlie Noble, Sherrod Atkins, Fletcher Haddad, Stephen Doubleday, Ryan McHugh, Cooper Sandage, David Lewin, Luca Hoffer, Bryson Bassett, Ian McClay, Will Zooks, Aiden Perez, MJ Keener, Michael Yulian, Connor Frinkowitz, and Owen Petoskey, the seniors. And so Farragut will be in its traditional look tonight with the navy jerseys, the gray numerals outlined in white, the gray pants with the white stripe outlined in navy down the leg. And again, looking forward to a great night of high school football. 51st all-time meeting between Farragut and Oak Ridge as the team now starts making its way through the home stands, emerging just below us, heading to the left. They'll go down the stairs to field level and run through the opening in the band. The cheerleaders will have the banner at the midfield star, which they'll bust through as they come to the home sideline, the near sideline. And the Admirals 2-6 on the season, but 2-2 in region play. Oak Ridge 8-0 on the season, 4-0 in Region 2 6A. I was mentioning the other results last week, Region 2 6A. So Maryville winning outside the region. They're 7-1 now with that 42-10 victory over Science Hill. Actually, Science Hill led that game 10-0 before the Rebels scored the final 42 points of the game. But Maryville and Oak Ridge are both 4-0 in region play. Bradley Central was open last Friday night, but they're 3-1 in the region, so currently sitting third, 6-2 overall. Then you've got Farragut at 2-2 in region play, 2-6 overall, followed by Cleveland, which is 1-3 in the region, having picked up a 28-10 win over Bearden last week. Its first win of the year for the Blue Raiders, so they're 1-7 overall. Hardin Valley's 1-4 in the region, 3-5 overall. Bearden's 0-5 in the region, 0-7 overall. So this is not a must-win game for the Admirals, but as I detailed earlier, it could, in fact, get them a share of second place if they could get the win tonight and get a win next week at Cleveland. That, too, will be a Thursday night game. So a couple of Thursday night games to finish things out. And, again, the final home game here tonight at Eddie Courtney Stadium, Bill Claybo Field. starting line. Well, here come the Admirals through the banner. Stephen Doubleday carrying the Stars and Stripes. Hands that off to Patty Doucette, and joined by the rest of his teammates as many will head down to the end zone to our right to kneel, and there come the Wildcats across the way taking the field. Farragut at left tackle tonight will have Aiden Perez, left guard Luca Hoffer, center Will Zooks, right guard Bryson Bassett, right tackle Connor Frankowitz, the tight end Aaron Heatherly, the wideouts Anderson Glover again will be in the slot as Ethan Farhat continues to be out. Max Garfield and John Haskins will be out wide for the Admirals. Corbin Hobson's the quarterback, and I think probably Charlie Noble gets the start being the senior tonight, but we'll see Nathan Jacobs and Logan Wright and perhaps Carter Collier. Collier's a little bit dinged up with an ankle injury suffered on the last play of last week's game. Defensively for Farragut, Stephen Doubleday, Jackson Plumley, and Owen Petoskey are up front. The inside backers are Colt Brooker and Connor Paris. Luke Dinkle, Jack linebacker, up on the line frequently, or almost or consistently, certainly. Noah Hagues, the star linebacker. And the corners tonight, Zane Qureshi-Smith is back. Anderson Glover will be the other starting corner for the Admirals. And the safeties, Mason Apolategi and Harrison Smith. So as the captains prepare to head out to midfield, we'll welcome in Brett Clendenin and Tyler Carr. And guys, problems last week for the Admirals not being able to finish drives early. Completely dominated the game but didn't finish drives. Obviously tonight the margin for error is slim against an undefeated Oak Ridge team. You're going to have to see Farragut play its most complete game of the year.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of time to talk tonight without commercials, but obviously 2-6, and last week was not pretty. I thought there were a couple tough calls for the Admirals, but didn't play well at all. And, but the interesting part is you played Oak Ridge really well, which say 5 of the last 6 you've won. Obviously lost to them the one game you won the championship, state championship in 16. But Farragut's going to have to play complete football. That's been a struggle all year. If we can get offense, defense, special teams all humming, you have a chance against an undefeated Wildcat team.
I was talking to a lot of people about this game this week, and thing that comes to mind is, can Farragut limit the big play? You don't have Demillion Porter for the Wildcats. You don't have Will Presley. So they've lost 2 really big weapons in that offense that they have. But then you turn around and you look at the Wildcat defense, and according to Eric's notes here, they're giving up 8.8 points per game. 10 takeaways for the season, 33 tackles for loss, 14 sacks. The research you do, Eric, every week, it just blows my mind.
Unbelievable.
Best in business. 18 pass breakups, 3 forced fumbles. This is a week that you've got to finish drives. You've got to make sure that you cash in on any opportunity you get.
And defensively, as you say, Tyler, limit the big plays. I think that's obviously huge. Looks like Farragut has won the coin toss. And special teams, they truly, we talk about this, it has been a point of emphasis for Farragut always. But so we talk about it every week. And so it can seem sort of cliche at times. Farragut has won the coin toss and elected to receive. But seriously, special teams could be a huge part of this game tonight. Oak Ridge doesn't look like it does a very good job with its directional punting. They tend to just punt the ball right to the return man. Now, can Farragut capitalize on that without Ethan Farhat? Farhat is your big return guy. He's still out. The Admirals last week fumbled a kickoff return when they were still in the game. They've got 3 turnovers this year on special teams. They've muffed 2 punts and fumbled away a kickoff return and flirted with fumbling another kickoff return away early in the season. And so that's going to be huge. Can that swing Farragut's advantage?
Yeah, I mean, statistically, you can tell, obviously, why we're 2-6 with some of the stats you're throwing out there. But I would argue, if you don't win the third phase of the football game, special teams, you're going to have a very hard time winning this game, because you're going to need a defense that gives up 9 points a game and an offense that struggled mightily throughout the year. You're going to need as much yardage on special teams as you can get.
I've heard a lot of wise coaches say the most important thing about a special teams play is possessing the football at the end of it. And if you get anything else, whether it's, kickoff return yardage, punt return yardage, that's just icing on the cake. The most important thing is secure the possession, secure your offense getting the ball. Even if you put yourself, at the 15-yard line, that's better than giving them the ball at the 15-yard line. And if Eli Pearson does not put the ball in the end zone, you've got to cash in and make some yardage, because that young man has been very consistent throughout his career. I believe he's like a 3-year starter for the Wildcats.
Yeah, he's
Looking
a good one.
back on it.
He's a good one. The punting is really the only thing you can point to. They've been good on their field goals. Oak Ridge has 4 of 7 with a long of 47. He's put 30 of 42 kickoffs into the end zone. That's 71%. He's going to try to do so here as we are full speed ahead. And indeed, 6 yards deep, it is a touchback, and Farragut will start from its 20-yard line. We appreciate you joining us. Normally, I would say wherever you may be listening in, but there's only one outlet tonight, and that would be our YouTube channel, 105.3 WFIV's YouTube channel. If you go to farragutfootball.com, there's a direct link there. But unfortunately, again, with a TDS outage in the area, we're unable to broadcast tonight through traditional means on the radio or the radio's audio stream at WFIV.com. So Corbin Hobson leads the Admirals out, and he will hand it off to Nathan Jacobs, the freshman, running off the right side, moves to the 24-yard line, and good gain on first down as the Admirals ahead of the chains. It looks like perhaps in on the tackle was J.T. Gormley.
Yeah, good run there by Jacobs. A little bit banged up last week, didn't get a lot of carries. Looks a little bit healthier there as he gets off the right side forward.
Jacobs is averaging 4.2 yards per rush. He leads Farragut with 366 rushing yards this season, 1 touchdown, and he stands behind Corbin Hobson as Farragut moves right to left in this first quarter, just underway, and the officials have stepped in, and the clock is still rolling. It should not be. And so right out of the gates, we've got some issue.
Why would the clock have stopped? It was first down play.
I know, but there's an issue.
But the officials stepped in, and so when the
okay.
I was just.
They want to have a discussion.
I wonder if something is blocking visibility of the play clock in the end zone, if they're going to have to get some vehicles moved. I could certainly imagine if you're moving left to right from Lyndon Welch Way towards Dixie Lee Junction, towards Miser Wealth Partners, Valley Plumbing, and Rick Terry Jewelry Designs, that you might have a hard time seeing the play clock. There is a truck with a trailer and another truck. I mean, it's a full house tonight in terms of vehicles behind the stadium where normally we park, and there might be, a handful of other vehicles. Tonight, I was searching for a spot, and I wasn't exactly late getting here.
I parked in the main lot. I think I'm actually at the intermediate school. I may need a ride.
Yeah, we'll get you one. We'll get you one. Just keep talking tonight, guys. Well, you'll earn your ride at the end of the night wherever you need to go.
Beautiful night here at Bill Claybo Field.
Haven't had a bad one yet.
We have not.
That's just speculation, by the way, on my part about the truck and all of that. But we are in a holding pattern, it would seem, right now.
Regardless, Tyler, it'd be a good time. Less than a minute in, throw that website out.
TWSDeblade.org, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
We do need. It's for the children. It really is.
Yep.
It's for the children.
First Lady of Farragut football just made an appearance here in the press box. Anita Courtney.
Miss Courtney, he means it with all reverence.
Aaron Heatherly sets up off right tackle Connor Frinkowitz as Farragut hands off, and it's going to be Jacobs close to first down yardage. He got it. Got across the 31-yard line. In on the tackle was the safety, and it looks like probably King Sandoval, primary tackler, as Farragut moves for a gain of 8 yards off the right side. Oak Ridge got good penetration, but almost too quick, and Jacobs kind of ran by that early penetration.
Yeah, Jacobs, 2 runs, 12 yards for the first, 8 the second for a first down.
Farragut with its initial Hearthside Bank first down. Even though we're not on the radio, we'll continue to do our radio sponsors where that's concerned. And a pass down the line, trying to get it to Anderson Glover, the slot receiver on the near side. It goes incomplete. Coming up quickly was Jarrell Jimerson. And incomplete. Jimerson, the cornerback on this near side.
And Tyler, without Farragut, boy, could you use him against a defense like the Wildcats have. Obviously, you got to have Glover. You've got to have Garfield step up at receiver.
And Max has shown some great ability to make some nice plays for us this year and stepped up in some good things. I'm still hoping that Aaron Heatherly gets a nice role in tonight's game as well.
Yeah.
Handoff, and again, immediate penetration, and this time they don't run by Jacobs. Instead, they get him on the ground for no gain, as penetrating off the right side came Wayne Gibson, the rover. And it's 3rd down and 11 after a loss of 1.
Yeah, he timed that up perfectly there for a loss of 1. It'll be 3rd and 11 for the Ads early.
Farragut 43% on 3rd down this year, 40 of 94. And this is not the 3rd down situation you want to be in, 3rd down and 11 after only a single first down in this game opening possession. 10 to go in our opening quarter. Admirals moving right to left towards Lyndon Welch Way, towards Mike Dyer Nationwide Insurance Agency and the Shrimp Dock. Back to pass is Corbin Hobson, steps up in the pocket, throws over the middle, or actually to the far sideline, incomplete, threw it between 2 Farragut receivers. He had Haskins and Glover both in the neighborhood and kind of split the difference between the 2 of them. And so incomplete, and Farragut brings on the punting unit. That means Julian Melendi, and Julian had himself as good a game as he's had punting the football last week. On the season, he's averaging 44.9 yards per punt, a net average of 41, long of 54, which was last week, and 2 of his 3 that have been downed inside the 20 came last week at Cookeville High School. And so back deep for Oak Ridge. Oh, good pressure on him, but Melendi got it out of there. It's a good directional punt. It's going to roll inside the 20 and down to the 12 or so yard line. So that's from the 31-yard line to the call it the 14-yard line. 31 to the 14. So that's going to be 55 yards.
I was trying to do the math in my head. Eric's faster than me at math.
55-yard punt.
I think I've memorized our advertisements, so if you guys want me to just read them out, what I expect to hear here. VG Bakery, we don't have them anymore, do we?
No, they changed hands. They're no longer one of our sponsors, unfortunately.
Still great cinnamon rolls, even though they're not a sponsor.
Yeah, they were great for a lot of years. That was a absolute staple. I failed to mention our Rick Terry Jewelry Designs kickoff to begin the game. Again, we'll try to stick with those typical radio sponsorships, even though we're not on the radio tonight. Handoff to Gibson, coming near side for Oak Ridge, and Farragut got him out of bounds about the 20, maybe the 19-yard line. So Oak Ridge starting from the 14, a gain of 5 off the right side for the Wildcats on their first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, good to see Koreshi Smith back out there corner. He's been banged up a lot of the year, but obviously a 3-year starter who's done some good things for you.
Wayne Gibson and Jarrell Jemerson, I think 2 of the only players on the field right now going both ways for both teams so far tonight.
And Gibson last week against Hardin Valley, he was the workhorse with Porter out. Carried the ball 23 times for 167 yards and a touchdown. Jet motion, they'll flip it ahead. Farragut had good penetration with Petoskey, and they keep coming in waves, and buried in the offensive backfield is going to be Jarrell Jemerson. So Petoskey disrupted the play, and the Admirals kept coming. And Jemerson reversed his field, was looking for a cutback lane, and just absolutely nothing there. And it's going to be a 5-yard loss for Jemerson on what will be a pass play.
Yeah, I'll call that a jet. I hate that they call that a pass play, but a little flip ahead, and really the Admirals did a great job there, Tyler, pursuing as he cut back.
Stansberry standing in the backfield in an empty set.
Empty set from the 14. 3 receivers left, 2 right, back to pass Stansberry. Being pressured off the left edge, steps up, throws over the middle, and it's going to be caught by Howard. The big tight end makes the catch and gets first down yardage. Farragut cannot afford those types of situations where they give up 3rd and long. That's been a bugaboo all year long, and so from the 14-yard line, it's out to the 38. That's going to be 24 yards.
Yeah, Howard just kind of keeping the play going and on a skinny post, 6'4", 225, a good-looking tight end, makes the catch. Body's kind of the defender there.
Noah Haig on the tackle for the Admirals.
First Hearthside Bank first down of the ball game for Oak Ridge. Fresh set from the 38-yard line. Ball on the near side hash. Oak Ridge moving left to right. Stansberry pulls it down and runs forward to the 43-yard line where Colt Brooker belts him down. And so that's going to be a gain of 5 on first down for Stansberry. And credit Stansberry on that play a moment ago. He was under duress, stepped up in the pocket, kept his eyes downfield, and delivered an accurate ball over the middle to his big tight end, who's
being heavily recruited by a number of the
I
top
would give you a
programs around
list
the
of his,
country.
I would give you
Yeah.
a list of his offers, but it's easier just to say everyone.
Yeah.
Good to see Brooker back. He also was a little dinged up last week, a little more healthy this week as he's in there for the defense.
From the 44-yard line, 2nd down and 4, handoff to Gibson, picks his way through the middle and is close to first down yardage before Connor Paris comes up and delivers a finishing blow. But I think it's going to be enough. The far side official says move the chains. So a 4-yard gain for Gibson and back-to-back hard side bank first downs for Oak Ridge. So the Admirals had them 3rd and long, couldn't get off the field, and now the Oak Ridge Wildcats approaching midfield, ball between the hash marks as they move left to right. That's towards Bryan Insurance Group and Citizens Bank in the Medical Park Drive Plaza in Lenoir City. Flare it down the line, left side to Jimerson. Jimerson will be tackled by Harrison Smith, I believe, as they move from the 49 into Farragut territory. On that quick pass left, Jimerson will move to the Farragut 43, I think. Call it the 44.
Yeah, a little quick screen. Harrison Smith, obviously a really nice safety who doesn't miss many tackles. Really sure tackler as he comes up, makes the play on a really nice receiver.
Harrison was our defensive selection for our Blair House Antiques Player of the Game last week, and he ended up leading Farragut with 12 total tackles. Had a crushing blow on special teams.
Yep.
That was a nice tackle.
So 2nd down and 3 from the 44-yard line for the Wildcats as they've got Howard as the H-back on the left side, and a play fake back to pass is Stansberry. They're going to throw it to Howard, left side. Howard to the 40, to the 38. Farragut has Connor Paris wrapping him up around the legs and dropping him at the 37-yard line, but that's going to be a 7-yard gain and another hard side bank first down.
Yeah, try to find the big tight end again on the screen.
Connor Paris does not care that you're 6'4", 225 pounds. He's going to find you an open field and bring you down.
So Howard's got a couple of catches for 31 yards. Coming into the ball game, 37 for 549. Both of those numbers tops on this team, 14.8 per reception, along of 57, 6 touchdowns. He has fumbled the ball twice. He's one of the Wildcats who has had some numbers against Farragut last year, 4 receptions for 57 yards. Admirals are going to be in the neutral zone. Dinkle trying to time it up, but just got across the line. And a 5-yard step off. The first penalty of the ball game will be against Farragut. So that'll move it 1st and 5 down to the 32-yard line of the Admirals. So the Wildcats have picked up 3 Hearthside Bank first downs and have it 1st down and 5 now at the 32. 5:36 to play in our opening quarter here at Eddie Courtney Stadium. And the handoff is to Gibson, looking for a hole up the middle, and Connor Paris gets him down to the 29-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3, brings up 3rd down and short.
Yeah, nice tackle there by Paris.
Gibson on the season has 360 yards rushing coming in. So Oak Ridge averaging 7 yards per rush as a team. Gibson averaging 8.6. DeMillion Porter, who apparently we will not see tonight, averages 9 yards per carry. But a nice tandem of running backs, Porter a junior, Gibson a senior. But Gibson, again, got to work exclusively last week against Hardin Valley, and it looks like he's going to carry a similar load here tonight. His flaring out to the left side is they'll look that way, but then throw back on the middle screen to Jimerson. Jimerson 20, Jimerson 15, breaking it to the sideline, the near sideline, down to the 10. It's a hard side bank first down easily as Farragut sees Oak Ridge give the appearance of a screen out in the left flat, come back with the slip screen right, and Jimerson moves from the 29 down to the 9, a 20-yard gain, and they're in the red zone for the first time.
Yeah, pretty good looking play, Tyler. Looked like a running back screen to the left and then flare back to the receiver screen to the right. Wide open and great blocking.
And you want to teach your linebackers to sit there and read your keys and not vacate on that. It's so hard to do. As the Wildcats set up 1st and goal now from the 9 with 4:08 left to go here in the first quarter.
Farragut's opposition in the red zone this year has scored 19 of 22 times. It'll be Stansberry keeping and running it in off the left side. Stansberry, too, carried more of a load in the rush game last week and continues to do so here tonight as he scores from 9 yards out off the left side. Stansberry with the touchdown run, and Oak Ridge is on the board first. That is the 5th rushing touchdown of the season for the senior signal caller for the Wildcats.
Yeah, pulls it on the read there and wide open. Great blocking there. Has a methodical drive for the Wildcats to go up a touchdown.
86 yards they end up driving as they pick up 4 Hearthside Bank first downs along the way. And the extra point is up and good by Eli Pearson. He's now perfect 29 of 29 on the year on point afters. And Oak Ridge leads it 7-0 with 3:53 to go in our first quarter here at Eddie Courtney Stadium, Bill Claybo Field, Bill Parker track. 9-yard touchdown run by the quarterback, Blaine Stansberry, to open the scoring. And guys, Farragut had an opportunity early in that drive to get off the field. 3rd down and in excess of 10 yards to go for Oak Ridge, but Stansberry stepped up in the pocket, delivered an accurate pass under duress to Malik Howard, and the completion, which netted 24 yards and a first down. From there, I guess they faced 3rd down one more time after that. Perhaps it was 3rd short. Yeah, just a moment ago on the screen that went to Jarrell Jimerson for 20, but made it look pretty easy after that initial first down series.
Yeah, Tyler, we've seen teams go fast. That was very methodical. Wasn't overly fast. They weren't getting to the line, just letting the time run. That was a really long drive, but tough to stop.
Well, I think that once again, when you talk about the fact that they're missing 2 of their key weapons in Presley and Porter, they're not necessarily going to try to put you in a track meet tonight, and I think that they're going to try to set that tone and just methodical. If you take away the game clock, at this point, neither one of these teams are looking for, style points. They're just looking to get a victory tonight from both sides.
Oak Ridge is secure in its playoff future, of course, at 4-0 in region play. They've got Maryville next week to finish things out.
It's a Thursday night game, I believe, as well next week.
Where's that at?
That'll be
Maryville.
at Maryville. Yeah, most everybody plays next week on Thursday. There are some exceptions, but there are more games on Thursday night than Friday night next week. And part of that, it's Halloween. Part of that, we've seen that trend actually for a few years now, even when it's not Halloween. It just seems to be folks that are playoff bound want the extra day, and folks that aren't playoff bound would just as soon go ahead and turn in the gear and think about round ball. So next week, you look ahead, there's only of the 4 games that involve Region 2 6A members, only the non-region game, the lone non-region game, Hardin Valley at Ottawa, is actually going to be played on Friday night. The games that are within the region, Farragut at Cleveland, Oak Ridge at Maryville, Bradley Central at Bearden, they're all Thursday night games.
Wow.
So Oak Ridge will have Blaine Stansberry, will have Eli Pearson to kick it away. Pearson sent the opening Rick Terry Jewelry Designs kickoff into the end zone, and will do so again. Another touchback. So Farragut from its 20-yard line.
I know that the possession last time did not end the way the Admirals wanted to, but I will say that I was very impressed that last 3rd down, Corbin Hobson getting pressure in the pocket. He trusted the pocket and slid up into the pocket, evaded having to try to scramble, get out of the pocket. He did a great job of allowing his tackles to set and protect him. So it's showing some maturation and a little bit of development there in that first drive.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought his stepping up was good. The throw wasn't where we wanted, but I did like his stepping up ability there.
Farragut with a couple of receivers left. H-back and a receiver to the left side. They'll run it left. Nathan Jacobs taking the handoff from Corbin Hobson. Got across the 20 to the 21, no farther, and that's where the cornerback on this near side makes another tackle, Jarrell Jimerson, and it'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Admirals. Jacobs with 4 carries for 12 yards.
We're talking about the offense being methodical for Oak Ridge. I think for Farragut to have any chance, Tyler, you're going to have to run the football and be pretty methodical yourself.
You're going to have to run and make them pay attention to the run game and then try to get them play action or something, shot play, just to try to get them to suck up on it.
Hobson fires near side, incomplete, as they threw short to Garfield, and Jimerson again in coverage. It's a good secondary for Oak Ridge. Hobson now 0 for 3 passing. You look at Jimerson and Williams at the cornerback positions. You got Tyree Porter as the free safety. The rover, Wayne Gibson's already made a play up at the line of scrimmage. Quavez Williams, or let's see, is it
Dylan
Woody?
Woody's
Is
starting
Woody
tonight.
getting a start tonight? Woody, yeah, he started last week as well. I don't know if Williams is hurt or what, but it's seen more and more of Dylan Woody in recent weeks. Oak Ridge crowding the line with 5. Now Gormley backs out of there, so there's 4 rushing. Hobson's under pressure and goes down. Coming off the edge was Amante Bishop. And those outside linebackers, sometimes they drop back, sometimes they present a 4 or 5 man front with Amante Bishop and Caden Stewart. But both those outside backers, very impressive. Caden Stewart's actually the leading tackler on the team with 53, and a Bishop on the opposite side as that outside backer is second on the team with 32 hits coming in.
Yeah, Bishop, outside linebacker, blitzed and absolutely leveled Hobson. And then the play before, Jemerson, I'm not sure I've seen tighter coverage on a hitch route.
An 8-yard loss on the sack of Hobson, and so from the 13-yard line, Julian Melendi punts it away, and the ball will be taken at the 42. So from the 13 to the 42, that's going to be 45 yards. And actually, they say the 44. That's not a real good spot, but so
Admiral defense setting up at the 44-yard line.
6 yards to go along with 37. It's a 43-yard punt for Melendi on a 3-and-out for the Admirals.
Porter in motion across the formation for the Wildcats.
Handoff to Gibson coming right, and Farragut. That looked like questionable block. Admirals we'll see Oak Ridge get across the midfield stripe to the 47, and so that's going to be a good gain on first down, setting Oak Ridge up second down and short. Gibson rips off 9.
The off right tackle looked like a questionable hold or block in the back there on the edge.
Something that you don't see every day. You have a trips formation to the wide side of the field with one receiver to the backside, but that one receiver happens to be a 6'4" tight end. And he is athletic enough that he can go and he can play wide receiver as well.
Yep. Handoff. Nope. They'll throw quickly left side. Jemerson makes the catch. Jemerson sidesteps, gets to the left side, the 40, the 35, the 30, down to the 25, down to the 21-yard. Obviously a Hearthside Bank first down as they move from the 47-yard line to the 21, 26 yards on the pass completion.
Just a little hitch route. Jemerson, quick as a cat there, put on a couple moves, moved to the outside. Really nice play by him.
That's the 5th Hearthside Bank first down for Oak Ridge. Hearthside Bank located in Farragut on the south side of Kingston Pike, just east of Concord Road. 1st and 10 just outside the red zone for the Wildcats at the 21-yard line. Jemerson comes in motion. They fake the toss ahead to him. Now they'll set up the little screen coming to Gibson. Gibson right side to the 15, down to the 11-yard line where he's rolled down at that point by Petoskey and Zane Qureshi-Smith. And I think the Admirals might also have had Noah Haig in on the play. But from the 21-yard line, it's down to the 11, and it's another Hearthside Bank first down.
Kind of hard to believe how much success the Admirals had last year against the Wildcats. It's a year-to-year league, and the Wildcats look focused and disciplined on their offensive drives so far.
Abrams Shelton checking in at Star.
Yeah, for Noah Haig.
Howard goes across the formation in motion.
Sets up behind Bafford, the left tackle. They'll run that direction with Gibson. They push the pile from the 11-yard line down to about the 7, perhaps. A 4-yard gain.
Thought we might have played it pretty well, but still ended up with 4 yards off left tackle. There's 57 seconds left in this first quarter.
Oak Ridge leading 7-0 and threatening for more back in the red zone where they converted with a 9-yard touchdown run by the quarterback Blaine Stansberry on their first possession of the night. That's Stansberry's 5th rushing touchdown. He has Gibson standing off to his left. Howard, the H-back, on the right side as Jemerson comes across the formation right to left. 2 receivers left. It'll be again pulled by the quarterback. Stansberry again looking for the end zone and again finding it. This time it's from 7 yards out, and a touchdown for Blaine Stansberry. 3 carries for the Oak Ridge quarterback, 2 of them touchdowns. And the Wildcats again convert in the red zone.
Yeah, he pulls it again on the read, and like he said, 3 carries, 2 touchdowns. Stansbury leads another touchdown drive for the Wildcats.
This was a 56-yard drive. And so on to attempt the extra point. Eli Pearson, Adam Washington is the holder. The kick is up and good. The long snapper on place kicks is Hudson Edwards, the sophomore for Oak Ridge. Kick splits the uprights, and Oak Ridge leads it 14-0 with 27 seconds remaining in our opening quarter. Pearson good on the PAT. He continues to be perfect on the year. And the Wildcats, again, up 14-0 as we approach the end of our first quarter here at Eddie Courtney Stadium. Speaking of Coach Eddie Courtney, he is among the upcoming class of Hall of Fame inductees. The 2026 Farragut High School Athletics Hall of Fame banquet coming up Saturday, February 7th. It'll be the 14th year for this event. It'll be at 5 p.m. on February 7th in the school commons. This year's honorees include Coach Eddie Courtney, also Drew Burnett, Harrison Eldridge, Katie Green, Anna Miller, Cole Strange, James Thomas, Bailey Williams, and Sarah Yeager. The Service Award inductees will be Michelle Brosette and Richard Huff. We'll get you more information on that as the night goes on, as far as what classes those former student athletes were a part of and what sports they played and all of that. But wanted to give that a mention. Here's another Rick Terry Jewelry Designs kickoff, and Logan Wright fields it in the end zone. So Pearson 3 for 3 on the night, meaning on the season. He's 33 of 45 kickoffs resulting in touchbacks. So the Admirals move for a single Hearthside Bank first down on the game opening possession. Then a 55-yard punt by Julian Melendi. Looked like the Admirals might get off the field without allowing a first down to Oak Ridge, but the Wildcats overcame 3rd and long and then ultimately drove 86 yards to take a 7-0 lead. Farragut 3 and out on its last possession, and Oak Ridge now 56 yards for their second score. So they're up 14-0 as Farragut goes back to work. Glover with a catch over the middle on the slant, and Farragut moves the sticks as Glover makes the catch off the right side. It'll be good for 20 yards, and the Hearthside Bank first down.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, Tyler, looking bleak. What do we need to get going? Quick slant to Glover may have been the answer.
Farragut goes with tempo, and the Admirals power ahead from the 40 to the 45-yard line as Farragut running with Nathan Jacobs.
Yep.
Nathan Jacobs still in there. 6
yards, not what you wanted to see into the first quarter, as we'll still be on the air. But couple, so I'm going to wing it a little bit tonight. Let's all just get to know each other. But Tyler, not the first quarter you were looking for. Couple good plays there to kind of get you things going. And you see Glover, a young kid without Farragut, he's a guy that clearly can provide a spark.
Oh, and he does so. I mean, you saw how fast he caught that slant and how fast once he made the catch, he was getting ready to take off and look for extra field position. He's just got an extra gear that he can go and grab that's very, very important. I know you look at his stats, 18 catches on the year for 193 yards, 2 touchdowns on the year. I mean, you think of those 2 touchdowns, they were the most opportune time in the Bearden game to where he came in and just sort of took that over on his own. There's some young talent that's still here. I mean, you look at it, Farhat's only a junior. You see Heatherly's a junior. Glover's a sophomore. Hobson's a junior. Jacobs, a freshman. You got Johnny Jacobs as a junior that's still in this thing right there. There is some talent in here that's starting to finally, by week 10, you're starting to see they're becoming varsity-type bodies, varsity-type players, and emerging themselves, because it's not everywhere in 6A football you see sophomores and juniors leading the way right now.
Let's look at some first quarter stats. Oak Ridge with 6 Hearthside Bank first downs. Farragut with 2, picking up one, their second one just a moment ago. Got one to begin the ball game on a couple of back-to-back runs by Nathan Jacobs, and then the completion to start this possession on the 20-yard hookup between Corbin Hobson and Anderson Glover. Oak Ridge with 6 first downs, Farragut with 2. Oak Ridge 2 of 2 on third down, Farragut 0 of 2 on third down. Only 1 penalty thus far. That was against Farragut, a 5-yard step off. And Oak Ridge with 136 yards in the first quarter, 47 on the ground. Blaine Stansberry, 3 carries, 22 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Wayne Gibson, 5 carries for 25 yards. So 8 carries, 47 yards on the ground for Oak Ridge in the first quarter, and Stansberry has yet to miss on a pass. He's 7 for 7 for 89 yards. Malik Howard, 2 catches for 31. Wayne Gibson, 1 for 10. Jarrell Jimerson, 4 for 48. Farragut, again, Oak Ridge with 136 first quarter yards. Farragut with 38 yards in the first quarter. Corbin Hobson, let's see, change that. It's going to be 30 yards, not 38, excuse me. 30 yards for the Admirals. Corbin Hobson's lone rush was a sack, taken down for an 8-yard loss. Nathan Jacobs carried the ball 5 times for 18 yards, so 6 for 10 rushing for the Admirals in the first quarter. And Hobson a moment ago with that completion, his first of the night, 1 for 4, 20 yards. Anderson Glover on the receiving end, excuse me. So 136 yards for the Wildcats and 30 yards for Farragut in the first quarter as Oak Ridge leads it 14-0. Wildcats come in averaging 29.8 points per game and 375 yards. Talking with Coach Jeff Courtney this morning about these numbers. 182 Oak Ridge averages on the ground, 193 through the air.
Balanced.
Yeah, very much so. And 16 touchdowns, both rushing and passing, coming into tonight's ball game. But we'll get to that, more about that in a moment. But second quarter getting underway as Farragut sets up a screen from the 46. It goes to Jacobs. He got around a man and gets forward for first down yardage. Making the tackle was Caden Stewart of Oak Ridge, but not until Jacobs was able to get around him and get first down yardage. Farragut picking up its 3rd Hearthside Bank first down, as that'll be a gain of 7 yards.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching the senior wide receiver Jacobs last year. I'm excited we get 4 years for Mr. Nathan Jacobs.
It would be great to get Johnny back as well. I guess he got, was that the Upperman game maybe?
Nathan
right between the tackles.
All the way down to about the 39-yard line.
Nathan Jacobs running between the tackles right behind center Will Zooks, really, and moves from the 47-yard line down to the 39, an 8-yard gain. 26 yards now for Nathan. Farragut quickly to the line from the 39. They give it to him again, looking for a cutback lane, spins left and just spun into more Wildcat defenders. Just not much room there, but Nathan did get a single yard. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, he's a freshman, but he's got good vision, balance, physicality, only going to get bigger. Obviously, he's going to continue to gain weight, but he's a guy you like a lot. 3rd and 1, obviously got to pick this up, but there's been finally some juice here on homecoming for this offense.
Kind of hard to move that Oak Ridge front. Again, they'll bring the linebackers, Caden Stewart and Amonte Bishop, down on the line frequently, but the 3 down linemen are big and they're good. You kind of feel like they're the tone setters for this defense. As good as the secondary is, the guys up front are awfully good. Tim Walters in particular in the middle, but Dominic Vasquez and King Sandoval or Nate Stevens, depending on which one of them's in the game. Busted play for Farragut. Hobson's going to pick it up himself. Hobson moves down to the 36-yard line. A busted play. He turned. There was no one to hand it to, and so just made something out of nothing as the Admirals move for a 2-yard gain and a Hearthside Bank first down.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to try to hand the ball, Tyler. Nobody's there, and then he does what he can to get enough for the first down, Admirals.
And survival instinct sort of kicked in for him right there, and he just put his shoulder down and got across the line, setting up 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line, heavily across the formation for the Admirals, now setting up off left tackle.
So Heatherly and a lone receiver left, 2 receivers right, back to passes. Hobson has time, throws left side, catch is made, and Farragut's 3 down the far sideline, and they're going to score. Wow. The Admirals, I think that was Garfield, right?
Yep.
Garfield from 36 yards out. Oak Ridge missed the tackle, and Garfield scores the touchdown, and the Admirals are on the board.
Wow, Zayden Williams, just kind of a small hitch there. Believe it was Zayden Williams, misses the tackle over there at corner, and Garfield, really good balance there, Tyler, keeps his feet and gets in for 6.
Beautiful, beautiful play. 8 yards in the air, the other 30 yards on the ground. Max Garfield does a great job, once again showing why he has stepped up and sort of taken the reins of the receiving room for the Admirals.
Yeah, Garfield with his 5th touchdown catch of the year. And here is Ryan McHugh, Mr. Dependable, puts it up and through out of the hold of Noah Haig. And the snap of junior Luca Conforti as the Admirals cut Oak Ridge's lead in half. So McHugh, he's missed a couple of PATs this year. Those were primarily due to snaps that were offline. And so he is now 16 of 18 on his PATs. And Ryan's coming off a career-long 50-yard field goal that, as Coach Jeff Courtney described in the pregame interview that we were unable to air, he felt like he had 5 to 7 additional yards on that kick. So,
which was disappointing because he would have had the record to himself if we were just a yard farther back. Riddle, among others, he tied, right?
Well, he was one of 6 kicks over the years, 50 yards
50
or more.
Right.
The longest is
Ever.
53, I believe, by Jonathan King.
Well, 4 away.
It was a pleasure watching Jonathan King
Yeah, he was awesome.
kick back in the day.
Mr. Football winner. When all classes, the kicker was from all classes.
From private and public, yeah. And then it was also sort of interesting to watch him not only throw the touchdown, but go out there and kick the extra point. And then kick off for the kickoff possession.
Yeah, we talked about the kicker back nickname that we gave him.
Kicker back.
Ryan McHugh set up to kick the ball, going from left to right. He's on the far hash mark. Ball's up in the air. It's going to be a little bit short where Jimerson's going to field it at the 8, getting out to the 20, across the 25, dancing at about the 26, brought down, I believe, by Connor Paris.
Connor Paris doing it on offense and special teams.
Yeah, that's scary. I'd love to get that in the end zone. Last thing I want to do is give Jimerson another opportunity there, a kickoff return. But you were talking about this Oak Ridge defense. I was about to say before we scored, a defensive line can really make a secondary look better, but a secondary who really is not worried about you running behind them can really make a front 7 better. And I think that's kind of what makes that Oak Ridge defense difficult.
Should mention also, too, that Sean Raines was in on that special teams tackle.
I think also I might have missed it. I think it might have been Logan Wright in on the tackle. Gibson getting the carry off the right-hand side, up across the 30-yard line.
Gain of 4 off the right side. Luke Dankel in on the tackle. And Abram Shelton and Noah Haig continue to rotate in and out. Call it the 31-yard line. So a 5-yard gain on first down for Wayne Gibson, giving him 30 yards now. 9:10 and the clock rolling here in the second quarter at Farragut's Eddie Courtney Stadium, Bill Clabo Field, as Oak Ridge in this second quarter moves right to left. That's from Campbell Station Road towards Lyndon Welch Way, towards David's Abbey Carpet and Floors and Fisher Tire Company. They'll toss it ahead to Jimerson in motion. Jimerson with a good cut. We've got a flag on the field. The ball is out. The ball is out. Farragut says they've got it. Jimerson was stripped as he cleared the 40-yard line. That was about a 10-yard gain. We've got a flag for holding, I would think, but Farragut wants the ball.
Yeah,
Oak Ridge is saying they've got it.
They do. Fumbles it there at the end. It's a hold coming back or a block in the back, but had an opportunity there to get the ball back. Yeah, you're down 14-0, Tyler. You got the ball first. It was a must score. The Admirals accomplished that to keep themselves in the game. Now you got to find yourself almost a turnover. You got to find yourself to get the football back. It is going to be about, 2nd and 14 or so after the hold.
Roughly, yes. Well,
yep, first penalty of the ball game against Oak Ridge. A 10-yard step off from the 31 back to the 21. The hold at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 15.
Or at least not beyond the line of scrimmage.
Opportunity to get off the field here would be massive. When it was the first quarter, you absolutely got dominated.
Connor Paris, Colt Brooker calling out defensive plays for the Admirals. Make sure everyone's in the right alignment. Jimerson goes across the formation.
Stansberry awaits in the gun with Gibson off to his left, gives it to Gibson. Gibson running right. Farragut's got him hemmed in, but he was able to kind of squeeze through there and pick up a couple of yards, and, well, more than a couple, actually goes for 7. That's disappointing because the Admirals appeared to be in good position on the edge, but Jimerson just kind of turned it upfield and picks up 7, and it's 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Tyler interview about 17 Admirals tonight if we could get the opportunity. 3rd and 8, big time opportunity here if we can get off the field, get a punt.
Oak Ridge is 2 for 2 on 3rd downs. Farragut gave up a third down conversion early on the first possession. Back to pass to Stansbury, steps up in the pocket, throws over the middle, wide open is Howard at the 50, sidesteps the safety, and he's loose down the far sideline to the 20, to the 10, and to the end zone. And twice now the Admirals have given up third and long. This one's going to go 72 yards to the house, and that is going to be for Oak Ridge the longest pass play of the season.
Yeah, and you talked about twice tonight. It's also many, many times this fall, and somehow the big tight end over the middle, Tyler, was wide open.
Second time tonight that Malik Howard's converted a third down for the Wildcats.
He's the guy you cannot lose sight of, and there was no one in the same zip code as Howard at midfield. And so an easy 72-yard pitch and catch once Stansbury stepped up in the pocket. Again, good job keeping his eyes downfield. And Pearson splits the uprights on the extra point. So 72 yards, the new longest play of the season on a pass for Oak Ridge. Previous long was 64. That had probably gone, it had gone to Will Presley. The long previously for Malik Howard was 57 yards. That was the 7th touchdown reception of the season for the junior tight end / wide receiver. And for Stansbury, who has rushed for 2 touchdowns tonight, he now has his 17th passing touchdown to 5 interceptions on the year.
Yeah, give Stansbury credit. You had the opportunity, score there. You're getting a punt return, going to be able to maybe tie this football game. Stansbury does a really good job keeping his eyes downfield when he is scrambling. Found the big tight end yet again for a massive touchdown for the Wildcats.
So Oak Ridge answers Farragut's touchdown with a 74-yard drive, 72 of it on the scoring play. Stansbury to Malik Howard on 3rd and 8. Again, Pearson good. And so with 7:35 to go in our second quarter, it's now Oak Ridge 21-7. 7 Hearthside Bank first downs for Oak Ridge. Maybe 8 now. 3 of 3 on 3rd down. And Farragut with 7:35 to go in our first half here at Eddie Courtney Stadium again finds itself down 2 touchdowns.
Now the question, Tyler, is obviously offensively, the first 2 drives you didn't see much of anything. The Admirals found something offensively that last drive. You ran it well, you threw it well, really good balance. Did the Admirals find something, or was that an aberration is the question?
I think that they found something. You just got to trust the process and keep going with it. I think that, we sort of talked about it earlier. You want to run the ball, let Nathan Jacobs get control of the ball game for you, and then that's when it's going to open up things to Glover. It's going to open up things to Garfield. Because on that touchdown drive, you started it off with the slant to Glover, got the first down, and then Max Garfield did a great job securing the first down, securing the catch, and then being able to step out of the tackle and be able to take it the rest of the distance. That's got to give you confidence going in here, this drive right now of, okay, we can score on these guys, we can move the ball, let's go in here. If you use 6 minutes of the 7.5 left to go until halftime, not going to hurt anyone's feelings.
No.
In that way, you go in there, it's a 1-score game going in at halftime.
Oak Ridge will get the ball to start the second half, but with the Wildcats taking control of this game in the opening quarter, as you say, if Farragut was within a 1-score game at the break, you'd feel like you're fortunate.
The C word's big when you're 2-6 and haven't seen a lot of things go your way. You need confidence going in the break.
Kick is sailing downfield and deep, back of the end zone, as Logan Wright watches the kickoff, the Rick Terry Jewelry Designs kickoff by Eli Pearson hit the back line of the end zone. So nothing but touchbacks tonight for Pearson, and Farragut starts from its 20 for the 4th time. Admirals, 1 first down on their initial possession, a 3 and out on their second, and they went 80 yards on their 3rd possession, their last possession, picking up 4 Hearthside Bank first downs along the way, and a 36-yard touchdown pass from Hobson to Max Garfield. So Corbin takes the snap from Zooks pass near side, bounces off the pads of Haskins. Well delivered ball, should have been caught, and goes incomplete. 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow developing hitch there, but does hit him in the chest, unable to make the catch.
And fortunate for Farragut that when the ball glanced off the pads of Haskins, it didn't land in the waiting arms of an Oak Ridge Wildcat. There were a couple in the area. So here's 2nd down and 10. Hobson, 3 of 7 through the air for 63 yards and the touchdown. Pistol formation, handoff to Jacobs. Big hole on the right side. Nathan got to the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5. They open a nice hole, but then the second level closes in for Oak Ridge, as well as the secondary. And you've got 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, Jacobs feels like the backup choice in this game, Tyler, because hard-nosed running physicality is what you're going to need against this front 7.
Oh, yeah, and you're going to have to be able to dish out some punishment as well as take some of it, especially on those 5-yard gains like that right by Jacobs.
Yep.
2 receivers each side. Pass incomplete. Looking for Haskins, thrown well high. Haskins was well covered as he just ran a bit of a curl and being guarded by Zayden Williams. Covered by Zayden Williams. It's incomplete.
Yeah, just like you said, it looked like a little curl, and we've seen a couple of short routes where the Oak Ridge Wildcat defenders are just in their pocket. This secondary, as I said earlier, not too concerned about the Admiral receivers running by them. They don't think they can do it.
Big Jeremiah Strickland stepping in, coming into the ball game along that front for Oak Ridge as Jarrell Jimerson awaits this punt, which is away by Julian Melindy from the 25. Not a pretty punt. Let's see if he gets a good roll out of it. It's going to skip out of bounds. It looks like at the 40 over there. And that's indeed where they're going to mark it. So that's going to be 35 yards. Angled it away from the dangerous Jimerson. So no return, a 35-yard punt.
Yeah, not what you're looking for. Punt it right back to the Wildcats, up 2 touchdowns. 6:48 left in the second quarter, and the Wildcats get the ball after half.
We're bragging on Julian. What a game he had last week at Cookeville with his punts, and Cookeville's punter was most impressive too.
Beautiful.
But Julian, a 55-yarder on the first punt of the night for the Admirals, inside the 20, 43-yard punt on his second punt, and this one goes 35, and Oak Ridge will start. What do we got here?
Unsportsmanlike or a personal foul penalty.
When did we see that? Was that after the punt or during the punt? Or
it must have been afterwards.
Something, a 15-yard step off against Oak Ridge, so that's going to move it back to the 25. So
wow.
Oak Ridge from its 25, that'll help the Admirals out a little bit. I was about to say,
none of us
Wildcats
saw that.
Getting good starting field position.
Yeah, not quite as good anymore.
But 3 possessions, 3 scores, touchdowns for the Wildcats, who lead it 21-7, 6:48 to play. They'll hand it off to Gibson, and Farragut can't wrap him up initially, but they keep coming as Connor Paris is there along with, I believe, Abram Shelton. And Doubleday slowed him down.
Original, yeah.
Kind of ducked under Doubleday.
He did a good job. And we've got a little replay. I know we're not, I won't say anything about that, but we do have their replay. We'll take that.
Yeah. No gain for Gibson. Gibson has gone for 5, for 4, for 3, for 9, for 4, for 5, for 7, and no gain on that one. So 8 carries, 37 yards for the senior running back from Oak Ridge.
I saw the referees all came in for.
And he says, wind the clock never stopped.
Thank you.
Hear no evil, see no evil, ladies and gentlemen.
6:30 to go. 6:30 to go in our second quarter.
I would like to remind everyone that when you go to a game, remember, it is not the poor guy that volunteered to run the clock that's actually doing it. It is a official.
Stansberry got away from Petoskey, throws downfield. Farragut's in position. They can't make the play. Instead, it's Oak Ridge grabbing it. I think it's Jemerson, and indeed it is, and he's going to catch it and move to the 38, and then we've got all sorts of flags. What is that?
There's going to be a pillback block on the far side.
Okay.
As I believe Zayden Williams came back and picked off an Admiral, and then I'm assuming a face mask possibly on this side, just the way that it was in the position that it was thrown at.
Stansberry being pressured by Petoskey as he rolls to his right, heaves one downfield. It looked like Farragut was in great position
so.
if they could just find the ball, but they couldn't, and Jimerson did, and the ball was moved all the way to the 35 before he was tackled, but they're going to move this
crackback
back
block.
to the 45.
Still a rule I absolutely hate, but you're right, Eric. I thought our defender was actually looking at the ball when he let go of it. I thought we were the one in position. And then Jimerson turns around when I don't even think he knew where the ball was and locates it and makes a big play. I really thought we had an opportunity, and Oak Ridge just broke our hearts, but we did get the penalty at the end.
15 yards from the spot there, so Gibson now takes it running right from the 45-yard line. He got the far sideline, his first down yardage, and is finally slung out of bounds across the way, and that's going to be late. Farragut is late on the hit across the way, and there's another penalty. Oak Ridge may have just done.
There's a hold, it looks like, about the 50-yard line.
What was the second or third? The first one is a hold.
I think there's going to be a late hit out of bounds.
Undoubtedly, there's a late hit on Farragut. I think Oak Ridge may have said something on the bench, though, and negated that. Because another flag came in after the fact. There was no need to throw another late flag after it had already been flagged on Doubleday, I believe it was, for the late hit out of bounds.
There's a rumor that you get paid by the flag.
And then, as you say, guys, there's also a flag at the 49-yard line.
That one's a hold.
It looks like we're playing Mario Kart in 1999 again in Brett's basement.
Yes, that was a fun time.
Yes.
Battle.
Heck yeah.
Don't get me started on that. We've got time to talk about that tonight, so probably get back into that later.
We got time to play a few games tonight.
Let's hear this novel.
Holding.
Yep.
I think the other two are going to maybe personal foul. Let's see what the other is. Do they have unsportsmanlike on Oak Ridge maybe? Or no? No.
No. So they're just going to mark the 10 and then mark the
15.
Okay. And after all that, it's going to be 1st and 10 Wildcats on the 44 of the Admirals.
But they only got the first by like a yard. The math is not mathing.
So let's see. Gibson, I think, Gibson gets 6 yards. Then the team is penalized. Oak Ridge is penalized 10, but then Farragut's penalized 15. And now the handoff is to Gibson, running up the middle on a Harside Bank first down run from the 44-yard line of Farragut. He moves to the 42 before he's swallowed up by the interior of the Farragut defense. Getting up off the bottom of the pile, Colt Brooker and Owen Petoskey.
Yeah, fake the quick pass to the left, and I would call that a little counter back to Gibson. He is a quick one, Tyler, at the running back position.
I got to coach Wayne in middle school, and he was always a fun kid to be around and a hard worker. Glad to see that his senior year is going so well for him.
10 carries, 45 yards for Gibson, who comes in with 368 yards, averaging 8.6. 2 rushing touchdowns on the season. From the 42-yard line of Farragut, 2nd down and 8. The play fake and throw right to Howard, and Farragut wraps him up. Zane Qureshi-Smith, and then we've also got a flag in the offensive backfield.
Yeah, another flag late. I haven't really been that upset with the flags because a lot of them have been helpful for us. Let's hear what the Zebras have to say.
Good tackle by Qureshi-Smith on the much bigger Malik Howard. Ineligible.
Eligible man downfield.
Wow.
Admirals need it. Hitch route that was going to make it 3rd and short to the big tight end is now going to force 2nd and 14?
5:04 left to go until halftime. Stick around or halftime. I'm sure the camera will be out, and you will get to see homecoming court tonight, and we will update you on all of the homecoming proceedings as well here on YouTube, WFIV's
105.3 WFIV's YouTube page, which has got a direct link at farragutfootball.com. Unfortunately, that's it for us tonight, guys.
Yep.
Hey, we're having fun.
You might have, a couple scores to give, Tyler? Maybe 2 to 3?
I've not even looked.
48-yard line. Stansberry rolls left, throws to Jimerson, who's just tiptoeing on the Farragut sideline at the 39-yard line. That's going to be good for a 9-yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, Jimerson's still a problem, was last year as well. Just a little rollout to the left. Jimerson sits down, gets them in third and manageable. Looks like it's third and a short 5.
Had a good game against Hardin Valley last time out. Jimerson 5 catches for 89 yards, including a touchdown, which was his second of the season. Tonight, Jimerson has 6 catches thus far for 92 yards, and Stansbury still does not have an incompletion. Here's third down for Oak Ridge. They've picked up all 3 third downs previously. From the 39-yard line, hand to Gibson. Petoskey hits him, and there
Harrison
comes
Smith.
Harrison Smith. I tell you what, Harrison, to be no bigger than he is, they list him at 155. He packs a punch.
Yeah, and I believe Shelton was on the tackle as well. Petoskey and Harrison Smith. Nice tackle there. 4th and 4. This is a really big play in this game, Tyler. With 4:21 left in the second quarter, I would expect a 54-yard field goal is not happening. So the Wildcats will go for this. Huge opportunity to get it to 21-14 before the half, but you got to have a stop right here, Tyler.
You got to have a stop, and it starts with you got to hold your water on this next play. That would not surprise me at all. I think Oak Ridge has 3 timeouts remaining.
Yeah,
in the
they're
first
saying
half.
Farragut used this time.
They're going to come out there, try a
be
hard
careful.
count, try to get them to
Be
jump.
careful.
If I'm not mistaken, Oak Ridge offensive coordinator Kevin McKeithen has had some college experience at Carson Newman and New Mexico State, or New Mexico, one of the two. Wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of exotic hard count attempt here. Of course, you could look at it. I was doing some prep work and watching Oak Ridge games this week, trying to get familiar with the team for this week's game, and heard that Stansbury became the Oak Ridge all-time yardage leader, knocking off Spencer Goldmeyer last week against Hardin Valley.
Oh, Goldmeyer.
For total offense?
For total offense, yes.
Okay. 4th down here for Oak Ridge. Farragut's opposition on
Here we
4th
go.
down this year is 16 of 25. It's been a bugaboo.
out
They set
there.
up the screen for Howard. It's
He's
there.
short!
Made the
Short.
tackle.
Short.
The Admirals make the tackle with Harrison Smith and Owen Petoskey. Those two teamed up on the 3rd down stop. They team up on the 4th down stop, as Howard is going to be stopped on the screenplay a yard shy of the line to gain.
Yeah, I was going to say, kind of, let's look for Howard here. They fake the screen again to the left, Tyler. Throw back to the right screen, but it's to the big tight end. Tackled him a half-yard short.
Wow, what a great job by Petoskey, and you said Harrison Smith wrapping that up and stopping that play. Because if he falls forward, that's a first down.
Yep.
Farragut from its 35-yard line with 4:19 to play in our first half, trailing Oak Ridge 21-7. The handoff to Nathan Jacobs, and Jacobs stumbles, rolls into one of his offensive linemen, I guess Zooks probably, and moves for maybe a 2-yard gain. 2nd down and 8 from the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and as you said last series, Tyler, I wouldn't mind a 4-minute drive and 21-14 and head to the showers for half.
No, heck no. That right there stays within that one possession rule we're looking for right now. Is Corbin Hobson getting ready to snap the ball from the 44.
Handoff Jacobs
go.
up the middle to the 40 before he's pushed back at the 41. See, Oak Ridge has got along that front, I believe, Jeremiah Strickland. Yeah, Strickland is in addition to Big Tim Walters.
And then also Dominic Vasquez.
Yep, Vasquez is 267, Walters is 306, and Strickland is 290. Those are the 3 down linemen for Oak Ridge. 3rd down.
3rd and 3, because that spot was absolutely atrocious by the Wildcats, but we'll take it.
5-yard gain. 3rd down, pass to Heatherly, looking for the first down, and he got it. Heatherly battles through a tackle attempt and moves from the 42-yard line as he battles through the tackle attempt of Dylan Woody, and moves from the 39 to the 47, an 8-yard gain and a hard side bank, first down.
Yeah, a little play action. Tyler wants to get him involved, a little out route to the big tight end. He did most of that on his own, breaking a tackle.
Heatherly's a 6'3", 225 athlete as well. That'll go and get you a first down.
From the 47-yard line, ball on the near side. Hash Farragut moving left to right in this second quarter. Hobson's got all day. Moves to his left and now is going to slide down at the 50. A 3-yard gain for Corbin. Ball at the midfield stripe. 2nd down and 7. Oh, excuse me. 49-yard line.
Yeah, 2nd and 8. Clock's ticking, 2:14 left in this half.
Trips formation to the right-hand side. One receiver to the far side, left side of the field.
That would be Garfield to the far side. You got Haskins, Heatherly, and Glover to the near. Back to pass, looking for down the sideline
Oh!
field, and nicely done at the last minute. Jemerson threw a hand up and knocked it away from Max Garfield. That was a well-delivered ball by Corbin Hobson, and just a good job of timing the arm extension by Jarrell Jemerson to knock that ball away from Garfield at the last instant. So, third down now, and 8 yards to go. Farragut is 2 of 5 on third down. Clock stops with the incomplete pass. 1:46 to go until halftime. Oak Ridge leading 21-7 as the Admirals with a pistol formation. Heatherly comes across the formation left to right. He'll be one of 3 receivers on the right. Garfield again is the lone receiver left. Back to pass. Hobson being pressured. They set up the screen. Jacobs takes it and can't make the second Wildcats miss. That's Gormley, I believe, on the tackle from his linebacker position. And the Admirals pick up a couple. It'll be 4th down and 6.
Yeah, I think you're going to go for this, Tyler. For a minute 37 left in the half. Down 2 touchdowns. Wildcats get it after half. I think Coach Jeff Courtney and the Admiral offense are going to go for this.
Farragut 10 of 22, 45% on 4th down this year. 4th down and 6 from the Oak Ridge 49. 1:22 to go. And looking to the sideline, Corbin Hobson, as he has Anderson Glover and John Haskins, the receivers, to the near side. Aaron Heatherly and Max Garfield to the far side. Nathan Jacobs behind him in the pistol formation. Ball on the far side. Hash play clock never did start, so Farragut can stand here
Forever.
all day. Now they start the game clock.
Well, they've got the I don't think that the play clocks have been working on response to the remote. So if you'll watch the umpire in the back of the back here, he's giving the hand sides. So I think Coach Courtney wanted to eat that game clock up to the last minute.
And so it's at 59.8 when Farragut uses timeout number 2 of this first half. So Oak Ridge still has its full allotment of timeout. So if you don't pick this up, Oak Ridge is going to have the ball around midfield and 3 timeouts to work with. They've got a strong kicker. You know, you said earlier, Brett, that they wouldn't be kicking a 54-yard field goal. They actually tried a 53 or a 54 against Hardin Valley last week.
Wow.
Didn't make it, but were willing to try it. And it wasn't like the final play of the half either. It was a situation where there's the down and distance. They felt like that made the most sense. So in a situation where perhaps the half is winding down, they might very well try a 50-plus yard field goal. So big gamble here for the Admirals, but you got absolutely nothing to lose as a 2-6 team kind of going for broke. So see what you got for 4th and 6 as Farragut.
I'm looking for Anderson Glover to find something right here.
Glover is the inside of 2 receivers to the right, but he split out pretty wide. Hobson throws. I guess he was trying to get it to Garfield down the left sideline, and it goes incomplete. Excuse me, yes, Aaron Heatherly, excuse me.
Yeah, it looked like they faked it and then tried to run the wheel to the tight end, and absolutely not open at all, and gets batted down.
Yeah, defenders all over that play. Oak Ridge, nice job anticipating Heatherly being a target and just good coverage. And so incomplete over on downs as Farragut took over at its 35 after they stopped Oak Ridge on a 4th down try. Now the Admirals go over on downs and the Wildcats get it back at their 49-yard line with 53.7 seconds to go in our first half, leading Farragut 21-7, and set to get the ball also to begin the second half is Oak Ridge.
And the rest would like to talk about it again. I think they're seeing some either knee pad or blood issue.
Noah Haig into the ball game for Abram Shelton. Wildcats have Jemerson in motion. They fake the toss ahead to him. Back to pass to Stansberry. Lets it go down the far sideline. And Howard trying to adjust to the ball. Incomplete. It was underthrown. And Howard couldn't make his way back to it. Coverage by Farragut's Mason Apolategi down around the 25-yard line of Farragut.
And my favorite name on the team. Been a little quiet this first half, but nice defensive play by Apolategi. I think he got a paw in there to knock it down.
So that's the first incompletion of the night for Blaine Stansberry, who's 11 of 12 for 209 yards and the 73-yard touchdown to Malik Howard. 2nd down and 10 from the Farragut 49 as Jemerson comes across the formation left to right. He'll be trips right, single receiver left. Washington. Here's Stansberry, flush to his left, Dinkle giving chase, and Stansberry scampers out of bounds at the Farragut 42-yard line. That'll be a gain of 9 and sets up 3rd down and 1 as the clock stops.
Yeah, Stansberry does a really good job in the pocket and out of the pocket, extending the play. Dinkle trying to run him down, doing everything he can, and forces him out finally at the 42 of the Ads.
Oak Ridge 3 of 4 on 3rd downs tonight. Stansberry comes into the game averaging just 3 yards per rush, a long of 28. He's picked up 2 rushing touchdowns tonight, giving him 6 on the season. But last week against Hardin Valley with DeMillion Porter out, not only did Wayne Gibson get 23 carries, but Blaine Stansberry carried the ball 18 times for 97 yards and a touchdown. So
the referees are going to put 36 seconds on the game clock.
He added 7.
From the 36, handoff Gibson. He's got the first down at the 35 and moves down to the 35 from the 41. A 6-yard gain for Gibson and a Hearthside Bank first down.
And a quick timeout for the Wildcats. I believe their first one of the evening.
That is Hearthside Bank first down number 10 for Oak Ridge. Farragut with 6. And the Wildcats convert on 3rd down and short with a 6-yard run by Gibson, giving him 52 yards rushing. Oak Ridge is now 4 of 5 on 3rd down in this first half. Admirals got the stop last time, looking to do so again after the Wildcats scored touchdowns on their first 3 possessions of this game. Farragut cutting Oak Ridge's lead in half at 9:37 to go in the second quarter on a 36-yard touchdown pass from Corbin Hobson to Max Garfield. But the Wildcats answered immediately with the 72-yard touchdown pass from Stansberry to Malik Howard on 3rd and 8, reestablishing the 2-touchdown lead, and that's where we currently stand. But the Wildcats are threatening for more here late in the first half. 2 timeouts remaining for Oak Ridge, 1 for the Admirals. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line as Oak Ridge moves right to left towards precision garage door service. This is going to be Farragut's double day, unable to get Stansberry down. He extends the play, throws downfield, and I think the Wildcats may have caught it at the 30-yard line.
Incomplete.
Knocked away, incomplete. Man, yeah, I saw a leaping Wildcat across the way in front of Oak Ridge's bench and thought perhaps he'd come down with it, but not so. And so the second incompletion of the first half for Blaine Stansberry, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, 20 seconds left on the clock. Like you said, we might get to see, not that we want to, that heavy-footed kicker for the Wildcats is 2nd and 10.
Yeah, his kickoffs tonight are certainly an indication that he's got plenty of leg, right? I mean, they're all going to pretty much the back line.
Yeah.
2nd down 10 from the 35. Stansberry throws quickly out right side to Jimerson. Jimerson got a block and is shoved out of bounds at the 30-yard line. That'll be a 5-yard gain. 12.9 seconds remaining.
Yeah, 12.9, 2 timeouts left. 3rd down here for the Wildcats.
Of course, going out of bounds, not having to use the timeout.
47 yards at this point, a right-legged kicker. The ball is on the right hash as Oak Ridge moves right to left, so it's a hook shot from here, but far enough out, not so much so, obviously. So from the 30, it's 3rd down and 5 as Stansberry rolls left, wants to throw back right, and Farragut somehow missed him, and now Stansberry is loose at the 25, the 20, got out of bounds at the 20 with 4.8 seconds to play. Farragut had 2 defenders all over the quarterback in the backfield and just whiffed. And Stansberry runs for a 10-yard gain and a Hearthside Bank first down, the 11th for the Wildcats. And now with 4.8 seconds to play, it's a 37-yard field goal from this point on the right hash, and Oak Ridge is going to use a timeout.
Yeah, 4.8 seconds, like you said. Eric had 2 opportunities to get him down on a sack, which would have put you out of any sort of scoring position. Now it's a 37-yard field goal. I would expect them to kick this with 4.8 seconds left, but they did still have the offense out on the field, so we'll see what they decide.
They've got 1 timeout left. I guess you could run the ball to the middle of the field, call the timeout if you don't like it being on the hash. I mean, I guess you go to your kicker, or you know your kicker well enough to just implicitly know that this is where he wants the ball.
It's got to be like a quick, like it's got to be.
Well,
get there and get down and get timeout.
It's got to be quick, but it's even quick. Needs to be even quicker in high school football because they're even slower about hitting
Right.
that button.
Getting
To be
stopped.
honest with you, I've seen it continually roll multiple times tonight.
They're setting up.
They're gonna
Eli
kick
Setting up for
Pearson's
the
gonna
30. Yeah,
for
go
it.
ahead and try the
Like you have to.
37-yarder. So again, we mentioned this earlier. He's 4 of 7. Is Eli Pearson, the senior for Oak Ridge, on field goals this year, along of 45. Hasn't missed a PAT.
Adam Washington to hold the ball for the Wildcats.
Snap comes back. Kick is on its way. Hardin Valley blocked one last week. This one they got away clean, and he hits it from 37 on the final play of the first half. 37-yard field goal by Eli Pearson, his 5th of the season. So Pearson is now 5 of 8 on field goals as he converts from 37 yards out, and Oak Ridge will go to the locker room leading Farragut by a score of 24-7. Final play of the half, a scoring play for the Oak Ridge Wildcats as Farragut trailing 24-7 as Oak Ridge saw Farragut win the opening coin toss. The Admirals elected to receive. They moved for 1 first down on a pair of Nathan Jacobs runs. And then could not pick up a second first down. A 55-yard punt by Julian Melindi inside the 20, pins Oak Ridge at its 14. The Admiral defense with a chance to get off the field. 3rd down, and I want to say about 14 yards to go. And the Wildcats overcame 3rd and long on a pass completion to Malik Howard. Ultimately, the Wildcats were able to extend the drive 86 yards, a 9-yard touchdown run by Blaine Stansberry with 3:53 to go in the first quarter, getting Oak Ridge on the board. Eli Pearson's extra point good, and the Wildcats leading 7-0. Touchback on the ensuing kickoff off the toe of Eli Pearson, so Farragut starts from its 20 for the second time. And this time, no first downs. A 3-and-out series for the Admirals. Julian Melindi with a 43-yard punt on his second effort of the night to the Oak Ridge 44. The Wildcats move back into the red zone and again convert with 6. Again, it's Blaine Stansberry on a keeper as the quarterback scores his second rushing touchdown of the opening quarter, a 7-yarder this time. Pearson's extra point good, and with 27 seconds to go in the first quarter, Oak Ridge leading 14-0. Another touchback by Pearson, so Farragut once more starts from its 20, but this time they get the offense untracked. A big 20-yard completion over the middle to Anderson Glover got it going, and the finishing touch was a 36-yard hookup between Corbin Hobson and Max Garfield. Ryan McHugh with the PAT, and Farragut trims Oak Ridge's lead to 14-7 with 9:37 to go in our second quarter. The touchdown pass was Corbin Hobson's 10th of the season. 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions for the junior quarterback. And for Max Garfield, it was his 5th touchdown. He had one last week as well against Cookeville. He was one of the guys that we considered for our Blair House Antiques Offensive Player of the Game last week with 6 catches for 84 yards, including the touchdown. Ultimately went with Ryan McHugh for the 2 field goals that he had, including a career-long 50-yarder. But again, Garfield with touchdown receptions back-to-back weeks. This one tonight covering 36 yards, getting Farragut on the board, again with 9:37 to go until halftime. Admirals needed to get a stop, and they were in position to do so. Again, it was 3rd down and 8 on what was the first series of downs of a possession. And so Oak Ridge had been able to overcome 3rd and long on their first possession of the game and ultimately extended that drive 86 yards for the first points. This time, facing 3rd and 8, Stansberry steps up in the pocket under pressure, delivers over the middle to an absolutely wide open Malik Howard at midfield. Howard broke to the far sideline and outraced everyone to the end zone for a season-long 72-yard touchdown pass. Longest pass play of the season for the Wildcats. With Pearson's extra point, Oak Ridge had reestablished the 14-point lead at 21-7 with 7:35 to go in our second quarter. Farragut with then its second 3-and-out series of the first half. A 35-yard punt by Julian Melindi gave Oak Ridge the ball at its 25-yard line. The Wildcats would go over on downs. Then Farragut, having gotten the big defensive stop, and those have not been commonplace this year. Farragut's opposition converting 64% of fourth down tries, 16 of 25 coming in. So that was a big stop by the Admirals. It was Petoskey and Harrison Smith teaming up on the tackle of big Oak Ridge tight end Malik Howard on a pass over the middle, holding him a yard shy of the line to make. Unfortunately, the offense couldn't capitalize, taking over on its 35. The Admirals moved barely into Oak Ridge territory, went for it on fourth down, failed to convert the pass, looking for Aaron Heatherly. It went incomplete, so the Wildcats get the ball back after Farragut fails on a fourth down try. So Farragut now on the season is 10 of 23 on fourth downs. And so Oak Ridge takes over at its 49, and on the final play of the first half, the Wildcats able to convert a 37-yard field goal as Eli Pearson boots it through from the right hash, kicking right to left. The right footer splits the uprights for his 5th field goal of the season. And Oak Ridge takes it to the locker room, scoring on the final play of the half. They take it to the locker room, leading 24-7. Oak Ridge with 14 points in the first quarter, 10 in the second. The Admirals held off the board in the first quarter, their lone touchdown coming in quarter number 2. So 14-0 Oak Ridge with the advantage in the first quarter, and the Wildcats with a 10-7 second quarter advantage. No turnovers in the first half. Oak Ridge with 11 Hearthside Bank first downs, Farragut with 6. The Wildcats go 5 of 6 on third down. Farragut, meanwhile, goes 2 of 6 on third down. On fourth downs, both teams 0 of 1. Penalties, Oak Ridge with 5 for 55, and Farragut with 2 for 20. Looking at as a homecoming court being introduced down below, and we'll be handed those information sheets after public address is done with them, and pass along all of the homecoming court to you. We appreciate you finding us this evening on the 105.3 WFIV YouTube channel. Unfortunately, due to a TDS outage, we're unable to connect back to the radio station, so no traditional radio broadcast tonight on WFIV, or of course online as a result, WFIV.com, where you'd normally be able to listen in around the world. But fortunately, we do have the YouTube channel outlet, and Tony Cox behind the camera tonight, filling in for Nick Blankenship. Appreciate Dusty being back in our studios, ready to go as always, and just unable to connect. But Tyler Carr and Brett Clendenin, Eric Gerhardt here at Eddie Courtney Stadium. And so again, we appreciate you listening, and hopefully it's been a challenging season on technical issues. Maybe next week, as we finish out the regular season at Cleveland, all will go smoothly. I really felt like last week at Cookeville went pretty smoothly. But unfortunately, the issue with the fiber optics tonight, and all the eggs are in that basket these days. And so when that goes down, you don't have much in the way of options. I can look quickly here at the Farragut individual stats from the first half. Corbin Hobson carried the ball 3 times for -4 yards. Those numbers are, of course, dinged because the first carry was an 8-yard sack. He then scrambled for a 2-yard gain and another 2-yard gain. So 3 carries, -4 yards for Corbin. Nathan Jacobs with 10 carries for 39 yards. And so Farragut with 13 carries, 35 yards rushing in the first half. Through the air, Corbin Hobson completes 5 of 12 for 73 yards and a touchdown.
Including, what, a 48-yarder to Max Garfield?
36.
36.
36 to Max. That was his lone catch. Anderson Glover with the big first down catch that got the touchdown drive started off on the right foot. Glover with 1 catch for 20 yards. Nathan Jacobs caught a couple of screens covering 9 yards. And Aaron Heatherly with 1 catch for 8 yards. So let's see, 3 for 17, 4 for 37, and 5 for 73. That all adds up. So Farragut with 108 yards of offense total in the first half. Again, 13 rushes, 35 yards. 5 of 12 through the air was Hobson for 73 yards and the touchdown. 108 yards of offense for the Admirals in the first 24 minutes. Meanwhile, Oak Ridge with quarterback Blaine Stansberry carrying 5 times for 41 yards. It was Wayne Gibson carrying 12 times for 52 yards. So 17 rushing attempts, 93 yards tonight, and 2 touchdowns on the ground in the first half of play for Oak Ridge. And then through the air, it's Blaine Stansberry, senior quarterback and total offense record holder at Oak Ridge, completing 12 of 14 passes for 214 yards and a touchdown. The touchdown was his 17th of the season. It went to Malik Howard, covering 73 yards, and for Howard it was his 7th receiving touchdown of the season. So again, Stansberry 12 of 14 for 214 in the touchdown. So Malik Howard had the 73-yard touchdown among 4 catches for 106 yards. Wayne Gibson, 1 catch for 10 yards. Jarrell Jimerson with 7 catches for 97 yards. So there's your 12 catches, 116, 213, that adds up. 307 yards of offense total for Oak Ridge in the first half. They come in averaging 375 yards of offense, and they rack up 307 in the first half alone. Very balanced Oak Ridge attack entering the game, even as far as rushing touchdowns and passing touchdowns, 16 apiece, and pretty even on what their average is, rushing yardage and passing yardage, 182 rushing, 193 passing. You look at what the team averages per rush, it's 7 yards per rush, 8.7 per pass, and 14 per reception, completing 62% of their passes this year. So the Wildcats have been an effective offensive team this year, coming off a somewhat subpar performance against Hardin Valley a week ago. They got it cranked up here in the first half with 93 rushing yards, 214 passing yards, 307 yards total, again compared to Farragut's 108 yards of offense in the first half. So that's a look at both the team and individual stats, and the homecoming presentations continue.
2025 homecoming queen is Maggie Doyle.
Maggie Doyle, homecoming queen. And passing of the
2024 homecoming queen, Miss Annie Priest.
Annie Priest.
Let's give another round of applause to all of our 2024
The freshman at UGA.
homecoming court.
Annie, outstanding Lady Admiral for 4 years. A prominent player as a freshman on the Lady Admirals state runner-up basketball team, and the daughter of former Admiral Adam Priest. And it's funny, Adam was one of the Hall of Fame inductees last year. And so I'm doing the research and thinking, okay, so Adam was Mr. FHS back in the day, would have been 1991, I guess. And then his oldest daughter was Mrs. FHS. Then Annie, his youngest daughter, was Mrs. FHS. And I'm like, this is
A dynasty.
Yeah. And then I was informed, I had no idea that Adam's younger sister was also Mrs. FHS back in like the mid-90s. So there's 4 of them in the family. It runs in the family, to say the least. And so there was Annie handing off the homecoming queen title to this year's winner, Maggie Doyle. So congratulations to Maggie and all of those young ladies who were recognized. And again, we'll get the script here from Public Address in just a moment and relay all of those young ladies who were recognized. Of course, it's senior night as well, so the senior football players were recognized before the game. And normally this would be when they'd be recognizing the senior band members, but they had to do that pregame as well, as you couldn't do that, and in addition, the homecoming court.
You want me to give you a break for a second? I got some scores of interest.
Really?
Yeah.
I think,
well, I've got some scores.
I was about to say there's only like 2 games involving East Tennessee teams tonight.
I have 4 that I'm going to consider East Tennessee games.
All right,
Okay.
Yeah,
one
let's
of
hear.
them is Whitwell at Joe Burns over in the Central
Okay,
Time
then we're
Zone.
I've got it up to 5 then. Okay. All right. At the half, Jellicoe leads Hancock County 25-6.
They moved that game. That wasn't supposed to be tonight.
I know. See, I'm full of
There you go,
surprises.
there you go.
At the half, Unicoi County 35, West Green 0.
Knew about that one.
In the
Where's
first
that
quarter,
game being played,
It is
Tyler?
at Unicoi County.
Being played in Irwin. All right.
A Division I Region 3 matchup. Copper Basin trails South Pitt 29-0 first quarter score, and then Joe Burns is up on Whitwell at the start of the game 7-6. Shelbyville is also playing Hendersonville tonight out in Midwest Tennessee. 14-0 Shelbyville over Hendersonville in the first quarter.
That's exciting stuff.
Hold on just a second. I will go. We've got time to fill right now.
Well,
Right? We got time.
It's funny. So you know, it's all of these you know, small towns in wherever you may find yourself. It's not something, of course, that's exclusive to Tennessee, but there's the pronunciation that is unique to each area, and it's how do the locals say it, right? I mean, and don't try to tell a local that they're pronouncing their town wrong. And so it's always one of those interesting things. You ask around, like, so you said a minute ago, Whitwell, right?
Whitwell.
And so, well, I was told that if you're truly a local in that community, it's Whitwell.
Whoa.
Whitwell.
So you just try to say it incorrectly.
I
That's how you say
I
it.
cannot force myself to say Whitwell,
Whitwell.
but I will say Whitwell.
Whitwell.
I try to go that way, but I just can't. I'm sorry, I can't do the.
I thought you were
Whitwell.
going to say what they call it, White Well. I was like, okay.
I was going to say, if I'm that far off in the NFL,
No.
The Chargers and Vikings are tied up 0-0 in the first quarter. South Alabama is up on Georgia State 21-14. In the NHL, at the end of the second period, the Chicago Blackhawks and the Tampa Bay Lightning are tied up at 2 each. The OKC Thunder are leading the Indiana Pacers 39-36 in the second quarter.
NBA's already back. Look at that.
I know, right? It's like a year-round sport nowadays. Eric just left me and you here to do this. We're going to show
No, that's
him.
good. It's exciting.
This is going to be. I feel like it's going to be provocative, nothing else. We're going to make things happen. It's a beautiful, wonderful night here. Senior
53
night.
degrees.
It's football weather.
It is.
It's finally football weather. We're here with 3 minutes to go until the second half here on senior night. Homecoming tonight. Tons of people out here at Farragut High School tonight.
There are.
On a wonderful, beautiful night we've got. And listening to the stats as Eric was sort of breaking it down there for us. 107 yards, I believe. Offense for the Admirals going into half. You look at it, you saw some sparks happening. The beautiful touchdown by Max Garfield, and you look at it, and I think it was 300 and something yards for the Wildcats at half,
307 or something, yeah.
107 for the Admirals, and you're in this at a 24-7 ball game here. And I believe Eric has now found the rest of the homecoming queen courts.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
You want me to read that? You want me to hold that over here for you?
Well, let's see. We've got.
Sorry.
Okay, so you got the freshman representative tonight was Maddie Grace Crawford, daughter of Michael and Meredith Crawford. She's the Farragut mascot manager and handler, active member of Young Life. But Maddie Grace Crawford, the freshman representative, the sophomore court representative, Blair Thurman, the daughter of David and Brooke Thurman, active member of SGA, Project U, and Young Life. Blair's also the manager of the girls basketball team. So sophomore representative. Oh, and by the way, Blair's daddy, David, an alumnus of Farragut, class of 2000. But sophomore representative, Blair Thurman. The junior representative, Liza McClooney. Liza, the daughter of Terrence and Lena McClooney, a member and officer of the Future Farmers of America. She serves there as a reporter. She's also in the National Honor Society, National Technical Honor Society, HOSA, Young Life, and peer tutoring. She was escorted by her father, Terrence McClooney. By the way, I failed to mention that Maddie Grace Crawford, the freshman representative, was also escorted by her father, Michael Crawford. But Liza, the junior representative, again, is escorted by Terrence McClooney, her dad. And then you've got multiple senior representatives, of course. So, Maggie Doyle, the daughter of Matt and Kara Doyle. Maggie, the drum major for the FHS marching band, a drum major for 2 years. She's also the lead editor of the yearbook and a host of On the Ads on Air podcast. A host on the Ads on Air podcast. Also on the senior board and in SGA, where she has been historian all 4 years. Co-president of the Hope Squad, a suicide prevention organization. An executive board member of FANS, active in the National Honor Society, the National Technical Honor Society. But Maggie Doyle, escorted by her dad, Matt Doyle, this evening. Another senior court representative being Catherine Evans, the daughter of Jason and Haley Evans, a member of the Farragut girls lacrosse team and the cross country and track and field teams as well. An active member of the National Honor Society and Hope Squad, escorted by her dad, Jason Evans. Second senior representative tonight, Catherine Evans. Then there's Maisie Hagan. Maisie is the daughter of Barrett Hagan and Lolly Hagan, a member of the Claybo Crazies and Young Life. She works at Shoreline Church Daycare and spends a lot of time, she says, hanging out with her friends. Escorted by her father, Barrett Hagan. Senior representative Maisie Hagan. Again, she and Catherine Evans and Maggie Doyle. And then also, there was a fourth senior court representative as well. That would be Anna Kate Harris. Anna Kate is the daughter of Tyler and Elisa Harris. Anna, an active member of the Admirals Performing Arts Company, vice president of SGA, the color guard captain, an 865 and Academy ambassador. She's on the senior board and in the National Honor Society, escorted by her father, Tyler Harris. Anna Kate Harris rounds out the senior court. And as we said, Maggie Doyle was this year's the 2025 homecoming queen, as the baton is passed from the 2024 homecoming queen, Annie Priest, the daughter of Adam Priest and Jeanette Bell. Freshman at the University of Georgia, former Lady Admiral. She's majoring in pharmaceutical and biomedical science. Since becoming a student at UGA, she's become heavily involved in her sorority, Chi Omega. And Annie says when she thinks of Farragut High School, she thinks of 4 years of unforgettable memories and friendships that will last a lifetime. That was a fun 4 years, again, to watch Annie and the Lady Admirals. A lot of success on the hardwood under Coach Jason Mayfield. So that's a look at the homecoming court. Again, this year's homecoming queen, Maggie Doyle. Congratulations to all of those young ladies on being part of the festivities this evening.
We're at about 30 seconds until the teams will report back to the sidelines and kick off the second half here.
And that was emotional to hear Eric read all that, and he's talking about 4 years of fun. If we're going to have a fun second half, Tyler, to transition in the business, as we like to call
I like that.
How are the Admirals going to be able to do it? You're going to have a stop to start the half because the Wildcats get the football, but you got to get some juice going, and it starts with hopefully a 3 and out.
I think you've got to go out there and you've got to get a big stop. You've got to get, you think back to that the block in the back, and then the missed the fumble that I believe Washington recovered for the Wildcats. If you can make something like that happen right here to start the second half, get a short field, get good field position, you can take the momentum right back into this game. And then, right now it could start. You want to make sure that this kickoff gets into the end zone. You want to make sure that you don't give Jimerson a running head start at this, and just let him put that ball at the 25-yard line. Let's go ahead and get ready to go. Defense, go huddle up. Let's go set the ball at the 20. Let's go play football.
Well, and one of the keys, too, Stansberry has been really impressive this half, running and throwing. We've had opportunities at sacks, but we've had a real trouble getting him down when we've had opportunities, and he does a good job throwing on the run. I mean, he keeps his eyes downfield, so I'd like to see us get home, but it has not been easy for us.
That was a much better transition than what I was planning, by the way. I was going to say, did you know that I was invited to the NHS, or the National Honor Society? I was invited not to come back.
Well, I think they're both good things to say, but for the half, for sure, regardless.
I was invited not to come back to that meeting.
You could have saved that during one of our breaks in the third quarter, but that'd be fine to get that
Good
way
stuff.
now.
You got to hold on to that stuff.
Yeah,
Come on.
That's cool. No commercials. We needed that later.
Here's our Rick Terry Jewelry Designs kickoff to begin the second half, and it's go down to the 2 where Jimerson's got a chance, or excuse me, it's going to be Porter on a chance on the return, and Connor Paris is in on the tackle for the Admirals as the return by Tyree Porter out to the 20 to the 25-yard line. So Farragut 0 for 2 tonight. No touchback on the kickoff, and the Wildcats will scrimmage from their 25-yard line. Alongside the masters of the segues, Brett Clendenin and Tyler Carr. I'm Eric Gerhardt, and we appreciate you listening in and watching tonight. Tony Cox behind the camera, filling in for Nick Blankenship on 105.3 WFIV's YouTube channel. We'll be selecting our Blair House Antiques Players of the Game at night's end, so stay tuned for that as part of our post-game show. And an empty set for Stansberry, and he's just going to run, and Petoskey's all over him, but they can't get him down, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Wow. I mean, it's a short drop. Obviously, he's in a short gun set, but you would have thought Farragut had him at least for a 2-yard loss, maybe a 3-yard loss, but he wiggles away and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, nice pursuit, though, by Petowski to get him down, and he blew by his, obviously, the guarding him right there.
Last year against Oak Ridge, Petoskey had a couple of tackles for loss and forced a fumble. He's coming off a 6-hit, 1-tackle-for-loss game against Cookeville. Been the leader up front all season long. You could make the case he's the leader of the defense, period. Handoff to Gibson, running left. Connor Paris throws him back with a little bit of help from Luke Dinkel. And it'll be third down and long for Oak Ridge.
Off left tackle, Tyler, just like we talked about a couple minutes ago. Can you get the third and long, get 3 and out? But third and long has not always been friendly for the Admirals this fall.
Someone please point out where Malik Howard is located right now. As
he's there.
Zane Crushy-Smith, Anderson Glover on the corners, with Harrison Smith and Mason Apolategi at the safety positions.
There's Howard making the catch at the 34, and he gets to the 36. Just a sit-down route for Howard, who was the middle of 3 receivers on the right, and that's just a big opening in the zone, and they move the chains rather easily. An uncontested pass that's an 8-yard gain and a Hearthside Bank first down.
Yeah, Tyler, you called it. They faked the screen with just a little bit of eye candy and then throw it over the middle to the big Division I tight end, and he gets enough for the first.
12th Hearthside Bank first down of the ball game for Oak Ridge. Hearthside Bank located in Farragut on the south side of Kingston Pike, just east of Concord Road. So from the 36-yard line, it's first down and 10 as Howard makes his 5th catch of the night for 114 yards. Blaine Stansberry 13 for 15 for 222. Handoff to Gibson coming near side. Gibson stringing it out are the Admirals, and they get him down. Nicely done. As coming up is Zane Qureshi-Smith to make the tackle after Harrison Smith forced him even wider, and no gain on first down. Maybe a yard loss, in fact.
Yeah, that was a team play there. Kind of flooded him to the right side, bounced it to the right. Qureshi-Smith cleaned it up, but that was all Harrison Smith bringing it down from his safety position.
It is so good to see 12 out there at corner tonight. Just brings a whole new experience level to the Admirals. Good to see him back out here for senior night tonight.
Yeah, and Lloyd's still dinged up there at corner as well.
He's matched up. Qureshi-Smith is on Adam Washington, the near side. They're going to flare it left side to Jimerson. Jimerson across the way, gets to the 40 and pushed out of bounds into the Oak Ridge bench at the 42-yard line. So that's going to be a 7-yard gain. It'll bring up third down yet again.
Yeah, another third down, which is what we want, but 3rd and 3.5 here after the quick screen out to the left.
8 catches, 104 yards now for Jimerson on the night. And so Oak Ridge overcame third earlier, so they're 6 of 7 earlier, meaning just a moment ago on this opening possession of the third quarter. Wildcats leading Farragut 24-7. So it's third down from the 42-yard line. They need the 46.
Don't jump.
Look to the sideline. Howard is going to be the H-back behind right tackle currently, Nate Stevens. 2 receivers left. Jimerson being the slot man. And it'll be Stansberry on the option pitch, and Farragut all over it. The Admirals come up with Abram Shelton, I do believe. Man, Shelton getting some play tonight as he, no, excuse me, that was Luke Dinkle. That was Dinkle on the tackle. And the pitch as Dinkle and Colt Brooker in on the tackle.
Yeah, they had Howard out to the right, and they run the speed option to the weak side, and really everybody played their keys. And it didn't happen right away, Tyler, but we got the punt that the doctor ordered there.
Right now, it looks like Anderson Glover is dropping back inside the 25-yard line.
And again, they'll punt it right to you. But it's a high when Glover calls for a fair catch when there was no one within 12 yards of him.
Yeah, had an opportunity there. Wasn't really long, Eric, but as you said, they skied it.
Yeah, it was a good hang time, but even with the hang time, there was nobody down on the cover team.
Yeah, they did a bad job getting down there.
Yeah, and again, they will kick it right to you.
Yeah, you got to win this. I said it before the game. You got to win the special teams side of the game to be able to win this one. But can the Admirals put something together and get it to a 10-point game?
Limited them to 1 first down, then the punt.
Yep.
A good-looking punt, turned it over. It was a spiral, high-hanging punt, but Farragut will start from its 21-yard line, trailing 24-7. So Corbin Hobson with, I believe, what is going to be Nathan Jacobs still behind him. And indeed it is. And they hand it to Jacobs, and he bowls off the right side. Gormley wraps him up, but can't stop him as Farragut pushes the pile out to the 27-yard line. That'll be a 6-yard gain on first down.
Yeah, and surprisingly, Tyler, nice run again by Jacobs, 6.5 yards. We have not seen another ball carrier tonight. Is that right?
Nope.
Perez,
which is very unlike us.
Running to the left behind Perez and Hoffer. Will Zooks the center, Bryson Bassett, and Connor Frinkowitz on the right-hand side for the Admirals offensive lineman as well with Aaron Heatherly.
Farragut with a couple of receivers in tight right, one out wide left. They're going to throw deep for Garfield. That's pass interference. There you go. Jimerson got tangled up with Max Garfield, and both players went down. And so incomplete pass, but pass interference, 15 yards, and the first down for the Admirals, which will be their 7th Hearthside Bank first down of this ball game. And for Oak Ridge, it'll be penalty number 6. So
yeah, that was a no-doubter right there on the post route.
Pass interference against the Wildcats.
Garfield getting a step and looking for that big play right there.
42-yard line, ball in the middle of the field. Farragut moving right to left in this third quarter. That's from Valley Plumbing, Miser Wealth Partners direction towards David Zappi Carpet and Floors, the Shrimp Dock, Mike Dyer Nationwide Insurance Agency, and Fisher Tire Service. Back to pass from the 42 is Hobson throwing deep for Garfield's got him at the 30.
Got him!
25 to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and into the end zone.
6.
Up top, the Admirals go 58 yards for the second touchdown of the night between Corbin Hobson and Max Garfield.
That was a beautiful.
There's
Well, hold on.
all the refs are like stopping. This is making me a little nervous.
Wait, hold on. What just happened? They're discussing something, but they don't. I don't see a flag.
Do you?
But then I see some of our players frustrated. And we've already did the light show, which Eric does not like. But I don't see a flag.
And they're going to say we're down here for the extra point, I think.
What do we? What?
Or it's in the number.
Okay.
There's where the flag was. Okay.
Waved off the flag. The Farragut receiver coach is fired up as he gets the crowd going after a beautiful go route there to Garfield. And I'll tell you, you're going to have opportunities. I've said it 3 times tonight. This secondary plays up and wants you to throw it over their head because they think they can cover anybody. Beautiful throw by Hobson. I'd say maybe the best throw he's had all year. on the money for 6.
58-yard touchdown pass. They went for 36 between the two of them in the first half. 58 here between Corbin Hobson and Max Garfield. Now the snap comes back from Luke Conforti. The hold down by Noah Haig, and the boot is through by Ryan McHugh. It is good, and Farragut trails 24-14 with 7:38 to go in our third quarter. Admirals on the board first here after halftime on the 58-yard touchdown strike.
And back in 3 minutes to dozen. Nope, we're not. We're
We're
staying
here,
here.
yeah.
Gonna stay right here, and just what we asked for, Tyler. A stop, a score, gave the people what they wanted. We're back in this football game. Can you get another stop against a really well-balanced offense for the Wildcats?
And I mean, you look at it right there, you sort of, you've got them out of their game plan right now. You think you do. Obviously, Blaine Stansberry had an awesome night so far tonight. I think he's like 12 of 15 for the night so far. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns. He's got a passing touchdown, but you caused them to get off schedule a little bit there and really affect the momentum they had. And now you sort of put the pressure back on them. I know that the scoreboard doesn't show that, but the pressure's on them right now because that lead has shrunk.
Well, it's an undefeated team against the 2-6 Admirals, and obviously Admirals need to play free and need to get after it. And let's hope the penalty flags continue for the Wildcats. There's been quite a few for them tonight.
If you look at it, like last week, this Wildcat team went 21-14 against Hardin Valley. 21-10. There's not really, like, if you look at that and you look at the matchups, there's no reason that Oak Ridge is in an 11-point ballgame with Hardin
that's
Valley
pretty
at that
surprising,
point.
isn't it?
Tonight it's
Did you
believable
watch
because
any of that, Eric?
Okay.
What? Talk to me about it.
Well, I mean, I think, the unfortunate thing if you're a Farragut supporter is Oak Ridge had their game where they took somebody for granted last week. You would rather that to have been this week. You would have rather them run Hardin Valley out of the stadium last week, come into this one overconfident, but instead I'm sure they got an earful from the coaching staff because of a subpar performance against Hardin Valley. And then also, too, they're going to remind them, hey, last year this team was up on you 28-0 at halftime.
Well, that's the hard thing to do, right? The history of the series, winning 5 of the last 6, what happened last year. I think it's kind of, even if Farragut's down, hard to kind of just look past us in that manner. So, but we're in it.
And talking with some guys that I went to school with this week, looking at it, this has grown into, a very competitive rivalry and, like, maybe up there in the top 3 rivalries in Oak Ridge right now. You look at it, obviously a lot of people would probably put Oak Ridge Clinton up there. Oak Ridge Dobbins Bennett, to me, is always one of the better rivalries just because of the 2 programs in their history. But then you look at this matchup right here, and as competitive as it's been, there's been some streaks, there's been some awesome playmakers on both sides. This right here, right now, these kids know each other. They're in each other's Snapchats and whatever. I'm sure that there's a lot of pride on the line tonight, and not to mention,
I think for old timers, it gets no bigger than this. But for the younger generation, I think sometimes they've lost a little bit of touch with it. That's going to be right to the goal line where Porter's going to have a chance to return this. He's to the 20, to the 25,
Good tackle.
and at the 25-yard line.
Form tackle.
As the Admirals getting
I
up
want to
off
say
the
Harrison Smith, but I don't
bottom
think
of the
it was him.
pile. I
No,
think
it
it
was-
was Sean Raines.
I think so.
Attaboy.
Yeah,
Sean Raines. That'll make your daddy proud.
You know a lot of daddies on a lot of guys' daddies.
I tell you what, Sean Raines was a fantastic teammate. Great Admiral, baseball player, football
You're talking about his
player.
dad?
Yeah.
So Sean Raines Jr.
Sean
is this
Raines
one?
Jr., yes.
Okay,
I
so
thought
he
it
was
was
a
class.
teammate of yours, baseball teammate?
His daddy was, yep. He was a, like I say,
Heck of a ball player?
heck of a ball player, heck of a guy.
Still is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stephen Doubleday, Jackson Plumley, Owen
to stop.
Bukowski on the defensive line, with Colt Brooker and Connor Paris barking out plays in the backer position.
Oak Ridge from its 25-yard line.
It's a-
and they'll
it's a-
throw
it's a
lateral to
throwback.
Jimerson.
Throwback.
Jimerson's going to throw deep, and he's got a man wide open, and he runs under it at the 45-yard line to the 30, and tripped up at that point. The ball came out, but I believe he was down at the 22-yard line. Jimerson fires down the far sideline to Zayden Williams, who runs under a well-thrown ball, and the double pass works to perfection for Oak Ridge.
I tried to yell at Tyler. They didn't hear me. Yeah, there's about 2 yards of depth that's difference when it's going to be a throwback or a double pass, and you could tell that one in a nice pitch and catch there.
They pitch it to Gibson, running left. A
Coming
flag
back.
comes in as Gibson's close to first down yardage over the left side. He's down into the red zone easily, but we'll see as that one went from the 25. First play from scrimmage on this possession, and they go with the into the bag of tricks.
Patowski drawing a hold.
49 yards.
I'm thinking maybe against Jared Bafford.
Yeah, he's been difficult to handle this half so far. Coming out fired up is Patowski. But anytime the Admirals have got back in the football game, the Wildcats have answered quickly as they did there on the double pass. Luckily got the hold. See if the Admirals can settle down and get a stop.
Hearthside Bank, first down number 13 of the night for Oak Ridge on that 49-yard completion to Zayden Williams from Jarrell Jimerson. But now the 10-yard step-off takes it back to the 34-yard line. That's 80 yards in penalties tonight on Oak Ridge. Ball on the far side hash as they scrimmage from the 34-yard line. Handed off to Gibson. Through a hole on the right side. Gets to the 31. Colt Brooker spins him down.
Noah Haig in there as well.
Noah Haig and Jackson Plumley all in the neighborhood, as well as Connor Paris. And it'll be a 3-yard gain for Wayne Gibson. 56 yards on the night for Gibson.
Yeah, you're down 10, 2nd and 17. I would love that big-footed kicker to have a chance. We need a couple big plays here to force fourth.
Wildcats getting set up. Trips formation to the right.
Washington, Jimerson, and Howard all to the right. To the left across the way in front of the Oak Ridge bench, you've got Zayden Williams, a sophomore receiver who just made that reception on the double pass. Back to pass is Stansberry, looking left, now comes back right, fires. He's got Jimerson wide open at the 8 and into the end zone. He goes, I tell you what, I saw that on film. Stansberry does, especially when he's got time like that, he'll look the safeties off. He does a really good job with his eyes. And so from 31 yards out, he looks left for what felt like an eternity, then came back right where you feel like he wanted to go all along over the middle to Jimerson, and it's 31 yards for the touchdown. In Oak Ridge, both times that Farragut has scored tonight, give the Wildcats credit, they've come right back with an immediate answer.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. That is something. They've done a great job. Stansberry doesn't celebrate at all, walks very slowly to the sideline, but you're right. You're talking about using your eyes and moving the safety. Felt really confident, got a lot of time, and threw it over the middle on the backside post, and he was wide open.
So 31 yards. The extra point is good as well, and Oak Ridge reestablishes a 17-point lead at 31-14 with 5:47 to go in our third quarter. So both teams have scored now since halftime. Wildcats picked up one first down on the first possession of the second half, then punted. Farragut moves. Can I read my own handwriting there? And a 58-yard touchdown pass, Corbin Hobson to Max Garfield, but Oak Ridge responds with a 31-yard touchdown from Stansberry to Jarrell Jimerson.
Logan Wright back deep for the Admirals as we're rolling right into this kickoff.
That's the second touchdown pass of the night for Stansberry, who also has 2 rushing touchdowns, so that gives him 18 touchdown passes on the night, and Jimerson with the touchdown reception. He had one last week as well. He now has 3 on the season.
We got our Rick Terry Jewelry Designs kickoff coming up right here as Eli Pearson has teed the ball up on the near hash mark. Kicking off left to right for the Wildcats.
Hadn't given us a chance yet. Don't think that'll happen here as it's close, but no.
I know that former Admiral assistant coach Bruce Lucier and former Oak Ridge High School head coach Bruce Lucier would probably say that he is very proud of kickoffs tonight. Yep. He would always quote the fact that if you make a team start from the 20-yard line or deeper, that there is a 70% less chance that they will have offense points. So Coach Lucier, the first lady of Admiral football sitting here looking at me like I'm not crazy, like I'm crazy, but I had to hear Coach Lucier say that every Thursday for 4 years. I just assumed that maybe he learned it here.
Coach Eddie Courtney and Coach Lucier go way back. Went to Halls together briefly, and then Coach Eddie came back to Farragut, and Coach Lucier, as you say, Tyler, ultimately ended up over at Oak Ridge. And they both head coaching positions at Farragut and Oak Ridge, went against each other for a number of years. But yeah, I saw Coach Lucier 2 years ago, I think it was, at the Farragut Hall of Fame. One of his old female track athletes was being honored.
I think you called her, sent me a text and told me about that.
Incomplete pass on first down for Farragut's Corbin Hobson. So second down and 10 for the Admirals from the 20-yard line. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Garfield, the lone receiver, near side. Handoff. This will be Charlie Noble through the left side, and he got 4 yards before Gormley slides over from his inside backer position, makes the tackle along with outside backer Amante Bishop. So it's 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, incomplete, a little slant that Hobson was a little behind on the throw. Then finally gets a carry for somebody not named Jacobs. Charlie in the game gets 4 on 2nd down, going to force a big 3rd and 6.
Farragut 2 of 6 on 3rd down. Admirals moving right to left in this 3rd quarter as ball's on the near side hash. Back to pass is Hobson under pressure, steps out right, throws short, inaccurate, and incomplete. Looking for Anderson Glover, and in coverage for Oak Ridge was Liam Gerber, and here's 4th down.
Yeah, it looked like he had a chance as he scrambled to the right to maybe run for that and then throws it inaccurately at the feet of a receiver, and we're going to force a punt.
That stops the clock, the incomplete pass does, with 5:03 to play in our 3rd, and Oak Ridge leading 31-14. So the Admirals have seen Julian Melendi punt 55 yards, 43 yards, and 35 yards. No returns tonight for Oak Ridge. Melendi to punt for the 4th time from the 24-yard line over towards Jimerson. And the ball's going to hang up, and Farragut is going to down it at the 39-yard line. Down for Farragut was Fletcher Haddad, one of those Admirals seniors playing their final regular season game here at Bill Claybo Field, Eddie Courtney Stadium. Call it the 38. And so 26 and 12, 38 yards, no return.
Of course, with the cooler air temperature, the football does not fly as far.
Yeah, that's true, although you'd never know it with Eli Pearson. I tell you, he's shown a strong leg tonight on those kickoffs. From the 38-yard line, they fake the pass, hand it off to Gibson, and Gibson stumbling off the left side is going to be tripped up by Colt Brooker as he clears the 40 to the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Brooker's having a nice game on the defensive side. His name's been mentioned quite often.
Yep, didn't play much last week, a little bit of run, but a little bit healthier this week and playing well at his middle linebacker position.
Gibson, 60 yards rushing now on the night. That's on 17 carries, so Farragut's bottled him up pretty well. 2nd down, back to pass, and they'll throw underneath, and making the catch will be again Zayden Williams, who caught the double pass for his first reception of the night on the previous drive of this 3rd quarter, and this time it's going to be good for a Hearthside Bank 1st down. Call it a 7-yard gain. 7-yard gain and a 1st down.
Yeah, it's getting colder outside. It's getting colder in here as we're about to go under 50. Maybe I should have brought a jacket.
Brett donning the shorts and short sleeves.
He's
got the sunscreen and the glasses.
Yeah, I'm very reluctant to say that winter's coming. You know what I mean? I still like to enjoy a nice fall day.
From the 49-yard line, handoff Gibson between the tackles, broke 1 tackle, and then I think it was Connor Paris maybe coming over, making the tackle.
There's a Wildcat coach on the other side of the press box. Screams like an absolute maniac every other play or so.
Harrison Smith with the tackle.
Oh, I thought he was saying that was the coach. No,
No, it is a coach. It is a coach over there.
Oh, I thought he was saying Harrison Smith was the name. I'm like, I don't recognize that name.
No, you thought he was.
No.
You thought he was naming the Wildcat coach who's screaming.
Second down, 5 yards to go from the 46-yard line of Farragut. 3:0. Well, now the clock runs. The clock is hanging up, and it's jumping ahead 2 seconds at a time. Handoff to Gibson running left, and they're going to pick up another Hearthside Bank 1st down as he's inside the 40 to the 38. So that's about an 8-yard gain for Gibson.
Ball down to the 38-yard line.
2:44 left in the 3rd quarter as the Admirals trail 31-14 to the Wildcats, who are still undefeated.
Admirals got 1 stop in the 1st half, stopped Oak Ridge on a 4th down try, and got a stop to begin the 2nd half. Wildcats have scored 4 touchdowns and a field goal on their other 5 possessions this evening. not counting this one, as they, from the 38-yard line, give it to Gibson, and Gibson gets north and south and gets down to the 31-yard line, where Farragut's Noah Haig perhaps in on the tackle.
And as Fletcher Haddad comes in the game for Brooker there, middle linebacker.
.7 yards on that carry. So Gibson now having more success consistently running the ball. 5, 8, and 7, the gains on his last 3 touches. Second down and 3 from the 31-yard line as Malik Howard sets up off the right side as the H-back, and they hand it to Gibson running left, and Owen Petoskey blows up the play. Petoskey shoots through a gap up front and throws Gibson down for a 3-yard loss back to the 35-yard line.
Little fake to the right there, counter back to the left. Petoskey's had a pretty active third quarter, Tyler.
Owens had a very active year, doing a great job. Came into the game tied 5th on the team with 45 hits, 14 and a half tackles for loss.
Leader in both sacks and tackles for loss amongst the Admirals. Third down,
and
they'll throw over the middle, and they got a man open, Jimerson at the 25-yard line. Pretty easy pitch and catch, 10-yard gain, a third down conversion, a Hearthside Bank first down.
Yeah, they found some openings in the zone for sure, as they do there. Jimerson right in the middle in between the linebacker and safety, moved the chains for the Wildcats with 50 seconds left in the third quarter.
Jimerson's had himself a ball game. 10 catches, 145 yards and a touchdown, and a 49-yard completion.
Sideline warning against the Admirals.
First and 10 from the 24-yard line with 50 seconds to go in the third. And that third down conversion for Oak Ridge, they're now 7 of 9 on third down this evening.
You talk about the consistency that Wayne Gibson's having at running back. They were so successful there in late in the first half with the RPO game, where Stansbury would ride the handoff until he saw the curl route or anything that he saw open.
As he does there.
Stansbury keeps it, dives forward inside the red zone to the 18. That'll be a 6-yard gain, and looks like Farragut's double day perhaps a little bit dinged up. Second down and 4.
Here comes Brooker in the game, back in the game for
Haddad. 6-yard gain for Stansbury, giving him 47 on 7 carries tonight and 2 rushing touchdowns, and that's going to do it for the third quarter.
I was going to say it's in a quarter, but we can't go nowhere.
31-14, that's right. We'll be back. No, we won't. We'll
No,
just stay
we're
right
here.
here.
We're
We're
right
just
here.
staying right here tonight.
Hey, did I tell you about the time that I was invited to the National Honor Society?
Yeah.
I was invited not to come back.
Should have saved it.
Yeah, exactly. But Stansbury, you're talking about the leader in Oak Ridge history for total yards, you said earlier, right?
Total offense.
Total offense.
Yes.
He's a guy who has a lot of poise, hard to bring down, throws well on the run. As you said, with the zone read, he keeps it in that belly a long time before he pulls it. Very poised young man with some real weapons around him.
And, you know, I got to coach against him at the middle school level, and he was head and shoulders with his technique and stuff like that, even as a 7th and 8th grader, with the ability that he has. And just it's been sort of interesting to watch his career. Didn't get to play a lot as a freshman under Scott Cummings at the time, but ever since Coach Rain came to the high school, he's done outstanding there. Let's see here. I think he's like going to Eastern Kentucky or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that right?
Yeah, possibly.
Well, he was 5 of 5 in the third quarter for 63 yards. Jimerson 1 of 1 for 49. So 112 yards passing in the quarter for Oak Ridge. Stansbury carried the ball twice for 6 yards. Gibson in that third quarter carried 9 times, 21 carries on the night now, for 25 yards. So 25-31, so 11 carries and 31 yards rushing, so 143 yards in the third quarter for Oak Ridge. And for Farragut in that third quarter, Nate Jacobs carried once for 6, Charlie Noble 1 for 4. So Farragut 2 carries, 10 yards in the third. And through the air, Hobson goes 1 of 3, but a big one as it covers 58 yards on the touchdown to Max Garfield. So the Admirals with 68 yards of offense in the third quarter, Oak Ridge with 143. Oak Ridge with 6 first downs in the third quarter to Farragut's 2. The Wildcats convert 2 of 3 third downs. Farragut 0 of 1 on third down. Farragut not penalized in the third. Oak Ridge picks up a couple of penalties totaling 25 yards. On the night, Oak Ridge 7 penalties, 80 yards. Farragut 2 for 20. But Admirals trying to get a stop, at least force a field goal, as Oak Ridge is in the red zone, where tonight they're 2 of 2 with 2 touchdowns. So Stansberry on the first play of the fourth quarter rolls to his right, being pressured by Petoskey, lobs it into the end zone, and up goes Howard. Was he in bounds? He was. Howard goes up and takes it away from the smaller Farragut defender, and the big man for Oak Ridge with a nice catch over the top and a touchdown pass from 18 yards out from Blaine Stansberry. Stansberry's done it all tonight. 3 touchdown passes, 2 touchdown runs, and just put it up there where it was going to be Howard or no one.
Yeah, and I will tell you what, Harrison Smith played that really well. He saw the football roll out to the right. He jumped. Sometimes
Harrison Smith did everything he could do.
Yeah, sometimes a bigger, more athletic man just comes up and just takes it away from you, and he took the milk and cookies, ran home, another 6 for the Wildcats.
And Howard with his second touchdown reception of the night. So for Howard, that's going to be his 8th touchdown reception of the season. Stansberry with his 3rd touchdown pass of the night now has 19 on the season, and they convert in the red zone yet again with 6, and the extra point by Pearson is good as well. Adam Washington the holder, Hudson Edwards the long snapper, all good, and 11:50 to go in our ball game here at Eddie Courtney Stadium, Bill Claybo Field, and it's the Wildcats leading Farragut 38-14.
You said he had about 38 offers there, Tyler?
I know. I think he's got every school in the SEC that I'm aware of. I think he's got quite a few in the Big Ten. Maybe not as far northeast as some people would think in the Big Ten, but I think it's easier just to say he's wanted by a lot of people.
He's a prototype where it looks like he can block inside, and he can absolutely, catch the football and do things with it when he gets it. He's prototypical at the next level, what they're looking for.
From what you've seen of Oak Ridge tonight, and of course we've seen Maryville, what do you think about that matchup coming up next Friday, guys?
I like Maryville by 14-17
points.
Do you
correct?
Correct. Do you get DeMillion Porter and Will Presley back for the Wildcats? Because I think that adds a couple things that we're not seeing here tonight that are legit playmakers for them as well.
Yeah.
And if you want to have any chance to win that game against Maryville, you're going to have to limit the penalties next week. That's you have got to play a lot more disciplined football because, remind me, what's his name, the Bearden transfer? He's
lightning in a bottle.
Torrey Beaufort.
But not just him, that 1-2 punch. Number 21, what's the other guy? The Lightning and Thunder. The other running. Yeah, Bagley. Right?
Bagley.
Their 1-2 punch.
He was the kicker, the fullback, the linebacker.
No, that was a tight end.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That was a tight end. The other one is the other running back. They've got some weapons. I mean, I'm not saying Oak Ridge doesn't have a chance, but Maryville's a better football team today.
Jacobs with the handoff between the tackles, bowls for a yard perhaps. You got to have good quarterback play.
It's true.
Stansberry is a senior. He's cool. He's composed. He's got people to throw the ball to. If it all breaks down, he can create something on his own. No,
I think you make a good point. I'm not sure anybody's ever beaten Maryville in the last 20 years without really good quarterback play. You're not just going to run the ball and win the football game. So Stansberry will have to play well next week for sure.
Pass over the middle, looking for Glover, a little bit too far out in front. Glover had a step on the defender, but he goes incomplete, and that will bring up third down.
I don't know, I'm looking here at your stat sheet, and I'm looking at the Gormley name comes off very familiar, and I think Oak Ridge has had number 38 at linebacker, it seems like, for the past 6-7 years.
Yeah.
With only 16 hits, and I think that he spent a lot of the year banged up.
Yeah, he's actually being spelled right now by Blake Woody, number 40. It's back to pass is Hobson. He'll throw left side. That was nearly picked off.
Yep.
Receiver turned defensive back. Max
Josiah.
Garfield knocks the ball away from Josiah McClure, a freshman, right?
The freshman, yeah, a former Robertsville Ram.
Yep.
Yeah, I've said it all game, but their secondary, we've seen some really tight coverage on some short routes. It's the way they play football. You can try to throw it over their head, but they're going to play on that hip pocket. And as Eric said, it's a really good secondary, and
Pretty
it helps
good front.
It's a pretty good front
Good
seven
outside
as well.
backers.
They kind of have a complete defense.
Melindy to punt again. His last one was 38 yards. Oak Ridge has not gotten a return tonight. Farragut wants to keep it that way as Jimerson awaits at his 40 as this punt from the 21-yard line by Julian Melindy, asking for a fair catch, settling under it, and making it is Jarrell Jimerson at his 42. So that'll be 29 and 37 yards and no return.
And Melindy took over, halfway through the season?
Yeah, and he would have taken over earlier the punting chores. Farragut likes to do that, give different guys an opportunity, right? And one handle the place kicking, one handle the punting. But Julian got a little banged up in practice, and so it was actually delayed a week or two before he would have fully assumed those responsibilities.
He's done a good job since he's got in. That's why I say that, and he's a junior.
Yeah.
He'll be back, so I think he can. He's got a good leg, but he also is really good directionally on where to kick the football, which is nice.
Oak Ridge from its 42-yard line as they will hand off, and Gibson is still in there, and Farragut pushes him back. Luke Dinkle leading the charge. Careful, Connor. Connor Paris, little extra shove on the tail end after Gibson's ridden out of bounds.
I love watching Connor Paris play football. Anyone stepping in and telling Connor, hey, calm it down a little bit is a wasted breath. No offense.
You're down 24, 10.5 minutes left. Bafford multiple times has looked at the referee and said, are you going to throw a flag on this wild man or what?
I mean.
And he's not gotten it yet.
I mean, that's just Connor Paris. I mean, he's
20
fun to
being
watch.
20.
From the
20 being 20, I love it.
From the 41-yard line, they throw right side, and the completion to Williams. So Williams more active here in the second half. It's going to be a 9-yard gain, and that shouldn't be enough, should it? I call it a 10-yard gain, excuse me. And so that's right at the first down sticks, and it's a Hearthside Bank first down.
That's what I was making sure. Hearthside is still first down sponsor. Good.
66 yards now on 3 catches for Zayden Williams, and that's going to be the 19th Hearthside Bank first down of this ball game for Oak Ridge. Hearthside Bank located in Farragut on the south side of Kingston Pike, just east of Concord Road.
Of course, Zayden Williams' stats were heavily benefited by that double pass early here in the second half.
49 yards on that completion from Jarrell Jimerson. First play of the possession. Back to pass. Stansberry over the middle's got his man. That's going to be Washington. Washington at the 35 to the 30 and bowls his way down to the 27-yard line. And so that's going to be 22 yards and another Hearthside Bank first down.
Yeah, a little skinny post. Beautiful throw by Stansberry. And Eric's right. Like I said, if they may have a chance to pull the upset, it's going to be on that arm and leg of Stansberry. One thing I really like about this Oak Ridge offense, you remember the 16 Farragut state championship team, and usually the best Farragut teams usually run to pass ratio on the year on yardage anywhere from that 45 to 55 range. That is absolutely Oak Ridge. I think coming to this game, Eric, you said they're about 51 to 49% on their yardage being on the ground and throwing the football. I love the balance.
Yep. From the 28-yard line, handoff up the middle goes Gibson. He sidesteps a man and gets down to the 15-yard line. Good run between the tackles by Gibson. Just kind of swiveled the hips a little bit, eluded a defender, and moves for a 13-yard gain and a Hearthside Bank first down.
Yeah, nice run there by Gibson. Nice cut back to the right as they're now in the red zone here with 9:15 to go in the ball game.
Farragut trailing 38 to 14. Looking for a turnover and at worst force a field goal.
Oak Ridge is in no hurry to snap this football.
Handoff, Gibson running left. Farragut pops him from behind with Owen Petoskey.
Off left tackle about 3 yards. And boys, arguably you would say this is probably the biggest high school football game in the state of Tennessee tonight. I'm biased, but I would think so. Across the entire state.
I know. I'm not arguing that point with you. I'm just checking to see who all. I mean, some people in Jellicoe may argue with you.
Well, I'm not saying there aren't a handful of people that I'm not looking for 100% agreement. I'm just looking for 79.
Those folks in Jellicoe are known to be argumentative. From the 12.
They just like to hear themselves talk a little bit.
Second down and 7. Back to pass is Stansbury. Pump fakes. Looks left now. Throws
deep.
right. But overthrew Jimerson.
What's that flag?
And now they throw a flag late.
Looks like there's going to be a hold.
Yeah, that was on. Was that
Nate
Dinkle?
Stevens against
Stevens
Dinkle,
on
yeah.
Dinkle.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say there's a barn burner down in South Pittsburgh as they lead
Yeah,
Copper
that
Basin
Copper Basin.
72 to 7 at the half.
Yeah.
Nah, I said don't tell me that one's better.
There for a few years, Whitwell could challenge South Pittsburgh in 3-1A, but otherwise, most of the games over the years in Region 3-1A have been those types of barn burners when one of the names on the jerseys is South Pitt.
I mean, I think at one point they had a pre-booked trip to the state championship game every year. The bus company just automatically reserved them.
Pre-booked the hotels, yeah. Save money if you book
them. It was
year
either
early.
them or Greenback, and if you, depending on what color shirt you wore that day, you could almost make sure you were in there.
Yeah. They don't even have to book a hotel anymore with the championship games being played in Chattanooga.
I just want you to know that our listeners right now are letting us know that Jellicoe is a great game to watch, apparently. My mom is listening to us on YouTube and thinking that me and Brett are doing outstanding at filling time tonight since we have no commercial breaks. It's all us all the time.
Well, we appreciate the support. Unfortunately, it's your mother, so I'd like to get a little more support. My mom thinks we're doing well, too, but unfortunately, that's two biased ladies right there.
I know.
Two wonderful ladies, but two biased
they think we're the greatest.
Yeah, exactly. They better.
Yeah, something's gone terribly wrong if they don't. Stay down.
Eric, you've met my mother. She will flat out tell me when I'm having a bad day. Don't worry.
Third down for Oak Ridge. It's third down and long. Can the Admirals force the field goal, or probably forward down territory here? Back to pass. Stansbury over the middle and making the catch at the 9-yard line. Paris says he dropped it. What do the officials say?
I don't think they have any clue, I'll be honest.
Jimerson.
They're marking fourth down.
They're going to say 14-yard gain. 14-yard gain.
Yeah, over the
but
middle.
Apparently not enough.
As you said, 4-down territory, Eric. 4th and 5. 7:35 left in this game.
So Oak Ridge 0 for 1 on fourth down tonight, meaning Farragut's opposition on the year is 16 for 26. And they will go for it from the 9-yard line. Fourth down and 4. Clock rolling, 7:20 to play. Admirals trailing 38-14. Next week, it's another Thursday night game. It's on the road. Farragut at Cleveland, another big Region 2 game. Farragut could have done itself a huge favor and given itself a huge lift winning this one, but it doesn't appear that that's going to happen. However, all is not lost. Go to Cleveland, beat the Blue Raiders, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, nothing else has to happen. Just win and you're in, right?
So that's going to be a massive game, and we've got a timeout being used on the field, I believe, by the Wildcats of Oak Ridge.
And you would be the 4th seed, and you would be traveling east.
You would be traveling, and that brings us to interesting. Well, first, let me tell you that the 2026 Farragut High School Athletic Hall of Fame banquet, the 14th year of its existence, is coming up Saturday, February 7th at 5 p.m. in the school commons. The event will be catered, I'm assuming, as it has been every year, by Brown Bag. And it's a great event every year, and looking forward to another outstanding class. Headlining that class is Coach Eddie Courtney.
Well deserved.
Here at Farragut from 1977 to 2023, so he will be the coach inductee, and what an honor it's going to be to have the opportunity to introduce him. It's funny, Ben Lyle texted a couple of weeks ago and said, Eric, are you going to be able to MC it again? And I thought I had responded. He got back with me a couple of days ago and says, Eric, You know, you're going to be, and it's like, I thought it was on auto reply that, like, Eddie Courtney's going to be one of the inductees. Of course I'm going to do it. You guys have got me this year for sure because Eddie's going to be inducted. But Eddie, as well as Drew Burnett, class of 1999, Harrison Eldridge, outstanding baseball player, class of 2004, Katie Green, 2004, Anna Miller, class of 2004, swimming, Cole Strange, who we all know well, James Thomas, back in the day, football, 2002. Also Bailey Williams, 2012, and Sarah Yeager, class of 1993. They throw to the end zone, coming out of the timeout, and it's Malik Howard. Another tough one-on-one matchup, this time with Zane Qureshi-Smith, and a well-thrown ball by Stansberry over good coverage to the taller Malik Howard. And the 6'4" tight end / wide receiver goes up and makes another impressive catch.
Yeah, Zane Qureshi-Smith in some really good position there, and Howard absolutely goes up and gets it. That young man, I think it's an understatement, Tyler, to say he's been somewhat impressive tonight.
He has been very impressive. I mean, and not just tonight. You look at it for the season, coming in tonight, 37 catches, 549 yards, had 6 touchdowns. I think he's now up to 8 touchdowns for the year. He's had over, I'm trying to look at Eric Sheet from here. He's got over 100 yards, so he's now close to 700 yards on the year, if not more, on the receiving end as well. And not to mention, like, he did it last year as well, played a lot, started some games, not necessarily at tight end, but defensive end as a freshman. He's just a remarkable athlete. He comes from a it's also, that's in his family bloodline over there in Oak Ridge, and I believe it was his uncle Richard who played at the University of Tennessee, was on the 91 state championship team, which there was a lot of great names from my hometown there on that championship game too, and that championship team as well.
Well, if you said everybody in the SEC's offered him, and his, would you say uncle went there, I'm hoping he's in Knoxville, he's giving the Vols a look and not going to pull a T. Higgins, which, he could. He could.
He could. I don't know if it'll be Clemson that'll be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, although they probably offered.
I'm sure they offered, but I don't think that train's not rolling as well as it was.
No, not when Higgins committed.
No. Kickoff being returned out to the 25-yard line. I believe this is right. Out to about the 26, maybe 27-yard line. I want to say the 26.
Rick Terry Jewelry Designs kickoff as Farragut's Logan Wright finally gets an opportunity. Previously, everything had been in the end zone for the touchback, but the Admirals will start from their 26-yard line.
Showed no fear there, I'll tell you what. He hit that hard, and as a sophomore, young guy, little guy, showed some fearlessness as he hit it up in there. Thought there was a face mask as well. They didn't call. 45-14 Oak Ridge, and unfortunately, Eric, we're now at the running clock, aren't we?
We are at that stage. So, let's see.
Corbin Hobson handing the ball off. Is that to Charlie?
Charlie, yep.
Across to the 31-yard line, bringing it over here to the right side of the offensive line behind, I think, Frankowitz and Bassett. Will Zooks, Luca Hoffer, and Aiden Perez rounding up the offensive line for the Admirals.
Does Cleveland play tomorrow?
Cleveland plays tomorrow against Hardin Valley. They'll be over here, our back door.
Extra day of rest for us. That's good.
2nd down and 4. Noble 5.5. Pass comes near side. Moses Burnett can't make the catch. Burnett sees it bounce off his hands. Good coverage by Oak Ridge's freshman Josiah McClure as he was quick arriving. It'll be 3rd down already for the Admirals, who are 2 of 8 on 3rd down tonight. Third down 4, hand to Charlie, running left and pushes across the 35, lunges for the 36, and I think he got
that for a first down.
Near side line judge appears to say it's the 37, so a 5-yard gain for Charlie Noble, and move the chains as Farragut converts on 3rd down for the first time in the second half. 3rd time in the ball game, and they pick up their 9th Hearthside Bank first down. Farragut from its 37-yard line, 1st and 10, clock rolling, 4:40 to play. Corbin Hobson out to Aaron Heatherly on a little flip. Heatherly turns the corner, tried to turn the corner at the 40. Good tackle by McClure. battled through the block and threw a body block into Aaron Heatherly to get him down after a 2-yard gain.
Tackle by McClure, it's second down.
Yeah, a little play action, get it to the big tight end. Still want to get the ball to him more if we could, as Tyler mentioned pregame.
Second catch for 10 yards this evening for Aaron Heatherly. And so it's second down and 8 from the 39-yard line. Back to pass is Corbin Hobson. Hobson lets it go deep. He's looking for Garfield, and he makes the catch at the 20-yard line. Gibson down to the 18, and so the Admirals go up top from the 39-yard line to the 18. They're into the red zone. That'll be, 11 and 32, 43 yards on the completion.
Yeah, just a post route. Garfield at his 6'2 frame just kind of bodies the defender, makes the catch.
Admirals running between the tackles down to the 15-yard line. That'll be a 3-yard gain for Charlie Noble.
Tackle by Woody.
And shout out to Andrew Burrows. Haven't seen him tonight, but obviously one of the best bodyguards in the business. But he's been pretty busy this fall. We've definitely missed him.
Back to pass, Corbin looking for the end zone, and Moses Burnett can't quite get there. Burnett had gotten around the cornerback coverage of Josiah McClure. Full extension in the back corner of the end zone, couldn't quite reel in the pass from Corbin Hobson. Corbin, by the way, with that 43-yard completion a moment ago, now 176 yards passing on the night. The clock continues to roll despite the incomplete pass because of the deficit Farragut's looking at, 45-14. 30 points or more in the second half starts a running clock. Third down for Farragut. They overcame third a moment ago. Back to passes Hobson on the slant, looking off the left side, and we've got flags as Farragut's Anderson Glover was going to be interfered with. And so that should be a first down for Farragut from the 15 if you move at half the distance to the goal. That should net you the first down.
Yep, you need 8. I think you would get 8, Eric, as I believe the pass interference was on Vanch Raj, if I'm saying that correctly.
I think that's a typo. I think that was Liam
Yeah.
Gerber.
Liam Gerber, they had the Max,
that's not his name.
the Max Preps roster was apparently wrong. Tyler filled me in. I'm sorry I didn't get your roster changed.
Well,
in time.
I was kind of excited to mention Vanch, but unfortunately,
I'm going to take great pleasure.
unfortunately, it's not him.
Charlie
Touchdown.
Noble touchdown from 8 yards out.
Through the right side, Charlie
Senior.
keeps the legs churning, and on senior night, Charlie Noble scores off the right side.
That's one of my favorite quotes of the year. Sorry I didn't get your program changed. Oh, yeah. Well, touchdown Charlie Noble off right tackle. Really
Keeping the
nice
streak
run.
going for him.
And it's a
against Oak Ridge.
senior. What is that? Oh, yeah, because he had a touchdown last year,
Yeah.
this year. Good to see Charlie, a senior, get in there.
Yep, Charlie with his third rushing touchdown of the season. Extra point by Ryan McHugh, up and good.
Oak Ridge 45, Farragut 21.
Now, we usually don't do the light show, do we, Eric? Because this is kind of new for us.
They've been doing it this year.
Okay,
we
is this
just
the first
unfortunately
year?
haven't seen it that much because we haven't had any home games.
Well, that's true. Well, I thought you were going to say touchdowns, but no, you said home games. Okay.
This is what happens when you don't have commercial breaks.
You need
in
commercials.
In a 2.5 hour long broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, is your broadcasting team starts to get a little loopy.
Gets a little wild, and he's right. You only get 4 home games, and as a senior, you know, that kind of makes me a little bit sad, right? You only get to be here 4 times this year. This is number 4 for the, how many seniors we got, Eric?
23.
23
I
seniors,
got a
which
list.
is more than last year, right? We had a light class last year. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Jackson Plumley, John Haskins, Max Garfield, Zane Koreshi Smith, Noah Haig, Moses Burnett, Connor Parrish, Charlie Noble, Jared Atkins, Fletcher Haddad, Stephen Doubleday, Ryan McHugh, Cooper Sandridge, Luca Hoffer, Bryson Bassett, Ian McClay, Will Zooks, Aiden Perez, MJ Keener, Michael Yulian, Connor Frinkowitz, Owen Patowski. And then David Lewin.
Yep.
Yep. So that's Farragut's first trip into the red zone tonight. They convert with 6. So on the season, Farragut's now 17 of 19 in the red zone with 14 touchdowns. And Ryan McHugh to kick it away. And let's see.
Pretty good onside
They
kick.
try the onside, gave themselves a chance, but Oak Ridge covers it up with Washington. Adam Washington covers it up for the Wildcats, and Oak Ridge will take over at the Farragut 46-yard line. Was that Melindy on the onside or McHugh?
I thought it was McHugh.
That was McHugh, wasn't
It was
it?
McHugh.
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
He put some oomph on it.
Sometimes Julian will be called upon for that particular attempt.
Trying to see some, I think Jared Atkins in at defensive back for the Admirals.
Yeah, got some young guys in for the Wildcats here.
Good opportunity for
New
some of these
quarterback for
guys.
the Admirals, it looks, or the Wildcats, Kipton Fagan, the sophomore.
Fagan's a pretty good runner, apparently. Handoff to
Zaire
Zaire Oliver, and Oliver is wrapped up in the offensive backfield and dumped for no gain. Owen Petoskey in on the tackle, as well as Doubleday. Farragut's got
They feel good about him as
Dinkle
the starter
checking out.
for the
So
next 2 years.
96, 51, and 34 checking into the ball game. That'll be Cameron Beaver
He's a sophomore.
and Isaac Main.
I think I see Bailey Pyle out there for the Admirals. I'm trying to spot, and they do feel good about Kipton at quarterback. Young man moved here before his 8th grade year from Texas. Wonderful addition. His older brother plays on the high school baseball team.
Hands it off to Oliver, sweeping the right side, puts his foot in the ground, gets north and south, and moves from the 47-yard line down to the 43. Call it a 4-yard gain for Zaire Oliver of Oak Ridge. So let's see.
Thatcher Cherry in at linebacker for the Admirals. I see
87 is out there. That would be Bailey Pyle.
Yep.
who's the safety nearest here? Do you see Eric?
Safety nearest me would be 85. That's going to be Mason Swore.
.32 seconds and counting here. Kipton Fagan calling out signals for the Wildcats.
On a third down. Hand off to Oliver, running left. He's hemmed in as Farragut is there to meet him on the corner.
Cameron
Never good
Beaver.
Cameron Beaver, good penetration. And that's going to be from the 43-yard line, a stop back at the 44, we'll say. And so a 1-yard loss, and that's going to be the final play of the ball game. Time expires on this one, and the Oak Ridge Wildcats remain unbeaten this season as they will defeat Farragut by a final score of 45-21 this evening. Oak Ridge 9-0 on the season, 5-0 in Region 2-6A. Farragut drops to 2-7 overall, 2-3 in the region. Oak Ridge next week goes to Maryville. That'll be on Thursday night. Farragut also plays on Thursday night again next week, final week of the regular season. The Admirals go to Cleveland with their playoff hopes hanging in the balance against the Blue Raiders, who coming into this week, Cleveland is 1-7, 1-3 in the region, fresh off of their first win of the year last week in the defeat of Bearden, 28-10. Cleveland got the win in that one. And so the Blue Raiders tomorrow night will be a couple of miles away from here at Hardin Valley looking for their second win. So it's certainly conceivable that Cleveland will come into that game on their senior night with some momentum, potentially with back-to-back wins, kind of where Farragut was before the open date. So nothing obviously is a given, but it is a game that the Admirals will have every opportunity, one would think, to win, to be competitive in, to win, and to secure for themselves, earn a spot in the postseason.
Yep.
And that's going to be most interesting if they do get in to see who they face, because that is a convoluted situation in Region 1-6A right now at the top. If Science Hill were to beat Dobbins Bennett next week, and that's a Friday night game, so we're not going to have any clue, even if Farragut wins Thursday night, we'll know they're in, but we won't have any clue who the opponent's going to be the first week of the playoffs. But it could end up being a three-way tie that gets really, really interesting with all the tiebreakers as you go down through there.
Well, I miss those nights where you put every playoff situation in there. But it's Thursday, although a lot of people are playing Thursday. But he used to put 1 through 6A
he used to give
everything.
me like a book.
We went off the air at 2:30 a.m. usually that night.
Yeah.
And we've got to drive back from Cleveland.
It's going to be a long one, yeah.
And
is it 8 Eastern?
No, no, it'll be regular
Seven.
time because
Oh,
it's
because
Eastern
it's
time.
over there,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We're still Eastern time zone, so it's the same time as usual. But no, yeah, we're not going to be able to piece together any of that stuff next week because of the fact that
Thursday.
so many things are still waiting to be decided on the following night, on Friday night.
Right.
I don't have to worry
So-
about messing it up. And Eric texted me the next day going, it all changed.
Yeah, yeah.
Or we didn't
It
have
all
the final
changed.
scores or put stuff together and it's third quarter in other games. Yeah.
Witt will beat this team in 3 overtimes. It shattered all of the records. Oh.
All right, guys, so I'm looking here at some numbers for Blaine Stansberry, and what a night that young man had. I got him 22 of 24 for 350 yards
Wow.
and 4 touchdowns.
That's no interception.
4
That's a pretty good day,
touchdowns.
huh?
Pretty good day, and he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Whew.
Eight rushing attempts, 46 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he goes for almost 400 yards of total offense tonight and accounts for 6 touchdowns. 2 on the ground, 4 passing touchdowns. He hit Malik Howard 3 times on scores and Jarrell Jimerson once.
Does that help pad those stats for total yards for a career?
I'd say that
makes,
probably
that makes it even better for him, doesn't it?
that probably puts him up there a little bit higher. Whew.
399 yards passing tonight for Oak Ridge because Jimerson on the double pass connected with Zayden Williams for 49 yards. So they were 23 of 25 for 399 and 4 touchdowns as Malik Howard caught 3 of the touchdown passes. The big tight end with 7 catches total for 141. Jarrell Jimerson ends up with 11 catches for 159 yards. Wayne Gibson 1 for 10. Adam Washington 1 for 22. And Zayden Williams makes his presence felt in the second half. First, he reeled in the 49-yard pass from Jimerson and then caught a couple of other balls as well, totaling 3 for 66. So let's see, that's going to be 207, 217, 239. And yeah, we're right there on the 399 that I had. So 399 yards passing tonight. Again, Stansberry, the Oak Ridge quarterback, carries the ball 8 times for 46, including 2 touchdowns. Gibson was the workhorse out of the offensive backfield. 13, 14, 24 carries, 92 yards. Zaire Oliver gets in late, carries 3 times for 2 yards. So that's going to be 35 rushing attempts tonight for 140 yards. And again, the 2 touchdowns. So you got the 140 rushing, the 399 passing. That's going to be 539 total yards. And I think that's a new high. It is. 502 yards against Lenoir City was the most total offense Oak Ridge had this year. The low had been 227 against Bradley Central. But they had eclipsed 400 with a 426-yard effort against Dobbins-Bennett, 414 against Clinton, 502 against Lenoir City, and tonight 539 yards of total offense as Stansberry put on a show. Passing for 399, 4 touchdowns, only 2 incompletions, 2 rushing touchdowns among his 46 yards rushing. And so, fantastic night for the senior quarterback for Oak Ridge. For Farragut, Corbin Hobson carries 3 times, minus 4 yards. Nathan Jacobs, 12 carries for 46 yards. Charlie Noble, 6 carries, 34 yards, including his 3rd touchdown of the season. And so that's going to be 21 rushing attempts tonight for Farragut, totaling 76 yards and 1 touchdown. And then through the air, Corbin Hobson throws a couple of touchdowns as Corbin now on the season with 11 touchdown passes. He hooked up twice with Max Garfield as Corbin goes 8 of 21 for 176 and the 2 touchdowns. So Max Garfield caught 3 balls for 137 yards, a 36-yard touchdown and a 50 58. 36 and 58-yard touchdown passes to Max Garfield. 3 catches total for 137. Anderson Glover, 1 reception for 20. Nathan Jacobs, 2 for 9. Aaron Heatherly, 2 for 10. And so the Admirals with the 176 yards through the air, 156, 165, 175, that adds up, and the 76 on the ground. You've got 252 yards of offense tonight. Again, 539 yards of offense for Oak Ridge. And so no turnovers by either team. I had Oak Ridge with 22 Hearthside Bank first downs, Farragut with 9 on third down. Oak Ridge goes 7 of 11, and Farragut goes 3 of 10 on fourth down. Oak Ridge 1 of 2, Farragut 0 of 1. Penalties, Farragut 2 for 20, Oak Ridge 9 for 98. 9 for 98. The scoring plays, it was Oak Ridge on its first possession, marching 86 yards. They overcame third and long early and extended that drive. Ultimately, it went 86 yards and a 9-yard touchdown run by Blaine Stansberry. 3:53 to go in the first quarter. The Wildcats up 7-0. Wildcats' second possession starts at its 44. Oak Ridge goes 56 yards. 7-yard touchdown run by Stansberry to make it 14-0. Farragut with an answer. 36-yard touchdown pass, Corbin Hobson to Max Garfield. That makes it 14-7 with 9:37 to go until halftime. But Oak Ridge answered with a 72-yard touchdown pass from Stansberry to Howard on 3rd and 8. 7:35 to go in the second quarter. Oak Ridge re-establishes the 2-touchdown lead at 21-7. And then late in the half, both teams going for it on fourth down failed to pick it up. Oak Ridge, with time running out, sends on the field goal unit, and Eli Pearson hits his 5th field goal of the year, 37-yarder, sending Oak Ridge on the final play of the half to the locker room up 24-7. Farragut got the stop it needed to open the second half and then got a score right back to a 10-point game. 58-yard touchdown pass, Hobson to Garfield. Second time those two had connected for a score tonight. Ryan McHugh's extra point makes it 24-14. That was with 7:38 to go in the third. But again, as Oak Ridge did after Farragut's first touchdown, they answered with a 75-yard drive, a 31-yard touchdown from Stansberry to Jarrell Jimerson. And so Jimerson with the touchdown reception, his first of the night and his 3rd of the season, as that makes it 31-14 with 5:47 to go in the third. The Wildcats, after a Farragut punt, then march 62 yards. An 18-yard touchdown pass to Malik Howard makes it 38-14. That was on the first play of the fourth quarter. Oak Ridge's next possession starts at its 42-yard line, and this time it was a 9-yard touchdown pass to Howard. That makes it 45-14 with 6:54 to go in the fourth. The Admirals continue to battle. They come back. They move into the red zone for the first time tonight and score on an 8-yard touchdown run by Charlie Noble. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Ryan McHugh's extra point, making it 45-21 with 1:55 to go, and the Wildcats run out the clock from there. Pleased to be joined by Farragut head coach Jeff Courtney. And Coach, I was extremely impressed tonight with Stansberry. Extremely impressed, of course. Malik Howard's is kind of a physical specimen, to say the least, but a couple of times it looked like to me Farragut had really good coverage on Howard, and it's just a matter of him being the athlete he is and having just the physical attributes that he has to be able to go up and make a play if the ball is thrown where only he can go get it, and Stansberry was just on the money all night long.
Yeah, he did. He had a good night tonight. We talked about a key defensively, was trying to affect the game, trying to affect the quarterback, make him uncomfortable in the pocket, pressuring him. But we didn't really do a good enough job of that at all, really all night. And like you said, he was in a rhythm. He was throwing the ball in tight spots, tight windows. And then give them credit, they were in the pocket. They were quick game. They were rolling the pocket out. They kept him moving around. So, and like you said, Malik Howard's a tough matchup. He made a couple of plays. We got guys right there, and he had a big night. But we didn't do a good enough job. We didn't coach it well enough. He's a good enough player. Certainly, you can't leave him wide open like we did all first half. So, not a very good night. We got to continue to improve, get better. We got one more regular season game down at Cleveland next week. We got a chance to try to secure a playoff spot. We got to go down there and play our best game and try to get a win.
And I'm assuming that's the essence of what you just told the team.
Yeah, we got to. This will hurt tonight. We didn't coach it well enough. We didn't play well enough. It wasn't a good night. But we got to come back in ready to go, flip the script on Sunday, and do a better job. Execute a game plan. Play good on defense. Play good offense. We didn't get really either one of those tonight.
Well, it's a Cleveland team that won its first game last week against Bearden. They'll play tomorrow night. They'll be over here at Hardin Valley, a couple of miles away, and a couple of teams there that are battling to stay in the playoff picture. And then, of course, Farragut in the same situation next week. With a win, you're in.
Yep.
But it could be a Cleveland team potentially in the same situation that you guys were a couple of weeks before the open date, where you're kind of riding the momentum of back-to-back region wins. So
right, yeah, they've got just as much to play for now. They had their first region win a couple of weeks ago. But more than anything, we got to work on ourselves. We got to get back to playing good football. We're just too inconsistent at times. I thought at times we stopped the run, and at times we got it. I think we got a few negative plays, but you got to give them credit. Anytime we got a negative, they got right back into a third and short, or they converted with a big pass play or whatever. We just 45 points, and every single one was just really a big methodical drive. It wasn't just a singular big play, but not very good tonight.
A couple of opportunities to stop drives early, third down and long situations. They were able to extend the drive, in particular on the first possession of the night, and then also a long touchdown pass that was early in a possession, the 72-yarder to Howard. That was on 3rd and 8. But the Admirals, it's been a tough year, and yet despite it all, there's still the opportunity for a spot in the playoffs and the second season if Farragut can go to Cleveland next Friday night and get the win. So it's not a short week. So what's the schedule look like for you guys? What do you do tomorrow? Just take tomorrow?
Well, we'll give them tomorrow off. We're a little bit banged up.
Sure.
Like everybody else is this time of year. But we'll be ready to go. It'll give us coaches an extra day to prepare.
Go over to Hardin Valley.
Go over to Hardin Valley, but we'll have a game plan solidified by the time the kids get here on Sunday. We had a game plan kind of ready to go last week, but having the extra day as far as prep, we'll get this game put together, evaluated, graded, ready to go by the time, and we'll have the whole week planned out by the time they get here.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming up and chatting. I don't know, you probably don't realize, but we had technical meltdown at the radio station. TDS's service is out region-wide, and that affects everything at the station. And so we were only able to do the video stream tonight, and so that meant everything that was coming back from the radio station that would normally be part of our pregame show that I spent a lot of time putting together, unfortunately couldn't air tonight. So part of that was talking to you pregame.
Yep.
So tried to allude to that some as we went along, some of your thoughts, but I certainly appreciate you coming up and talking afterwards. I know you probably had no awareness of the fact that the pregame had to get scrapped.
Yep.
But as I say to all of the coaches over the years, whatever the sport may be, we always welcome you coming up. You're never obliged. Certainly appreciate you making yourself available week after week for that pregame interview. And tonight coming up and talking after, I know what's a disappointing loss. The Farragut Oak Ridge game's a special one, and I know you hate the way this one turned out, but hopefully the Admirals can turn the disappointment into something big next week and earn themselves a spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, that's what we need to do. That's where we need our focus to be. Moving off of this one. But let me say this. You mentioned all that. It's easy to come up here and talk to you because I know the kind of effort and the things that you and WFIV put together, and it's a first-class product. Everybody, everywhere we go, they talk about how good our radio and our live stream and everything that we do and that it's broadcast throughout the world. So thank you.
Well,
thank you for all the effort you put in because it helps make our program a first-class program.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I think you might be stretching it a little bit that you say everywhere you go they say good things. There's one place I can think of, Coach, that maybe doesn't have something so nice to say, but that's just one place.
Yeah. Either
Hey.
way, it gets brought out to a lot of people. So
Yeah, well, it's a lot of fun, and it's a great school to follow and to be a part of. And just like talking about this Hall of Fame class
Yep.
coming up in February, we plugged that a few times tonight. No commercial breaks, so we just talk
Yep.
nonstop for 3 hours. And so,
so
there
you
was
earned
the
your
op-
paycheck tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, despite the fact that we had no sponsors,
Okay.
and so talking about Coach Eddie Courtney being a part of that, but it's just again that's indicative every year. Those people, and you start doing the bios on those people and learn about them.
Yeah.
If you're not already aware of what their accomplishments were, but to see that they are people of continuing accomplishment once they leave Farragut High School and all.
Yep.
Like I say, it's just a great thing to be associated with. Very much appreciated. And all of the coaches, certainly yourself included, just first rate, first class, and so you guys make it easy.
Yeah,
So,
well, I appreciate it, and you're right. Like I tell you every week, thank you for all that effort you do and what you do for us, and yeah, the Farragut High School Sports Hall of Fame and Farragut High School Athletics, doesn't stand second place to anybody. So it's a good ceremony, or it's a good recognition for our former athletes that get and coaches that get
Yeah.
put into that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
thank you.
looking forward to that. Hey, Coach, look forward to seeing you. Of course, I'll see you over the course of the week between now and Cleveland, but certainly look forward to seeing you down in Cleveland and hoping for a big Admiral win to spearhead a playoff push.
Yep, that's what we need. That's what our focus needs to be, and we'll come back ready to go. Like I told the guys down there, this will hurt tonight, but I expect that we've had great leadership all year, so our guys will be resilient, and they'll come back ready to go on Sunday.
That's Coach Jeff Courtney. Appreciate Coach coming up and chatting. And the Admirals tonight moved to 2-3 in region play, 2-7 overall as Oak Ridge gets the victory, 45-21. The Wildcats still unbeaten on the year, and that sets up a most interesting Region 2 6A championship match next Thursday at Maryville. Oak Ridge and Maryville. Farragut's going to have a huge game trying to get into the playoffs. Cleveland may be in that exact same situation. And then for Oak Ridge, they've got a championship game at Maryville. The other Region 2 6A matchup next week will be Bradley Central at Bearden. There was a chance with Farragut winning tonight and winning next week that the Admirals could have actually gotten in as second place, like the number 2 seed, had Bearden somehow tripped up Bradley Central next week. But of course that goes by the boards with the Farragut loss here tonight. By the way, the Farragut Admiral Marching Band performing down below, 152 competitive band members this year. And the season show Heart of Glass features the music of Blondie, Nirvana, and classical composer Philip Glass. The drum majors are Maggie Doyle, who was our homecoming queen tonight, and Carly Tilson and Ari Kim. The director's Andrew Smith in his first year leading the Marching Admiral Band. He's assisted by Rodney Brown, who's been around a few years now, and Molly McGill, the color guard director. And I assume they had the Knox County Band exhibition here at Farragut on Tuesday. So they've got a competition coming up on Saturday. Should be their final competition of the year, and it's going to be the Contest of Champions at MTSU. So from what I understand, as is usually the case, they've gotten all outstanding scores in their competitions in September at Clinton and in Carnes, and then turning to October competition at Heritage. And again, the Knox County Band exhibition was here at Farragut this past Tuesday, and Saturday at MTSU. The Contest of Champions wish the Farragut Marching Admiral Band the best as they go over to Middle Tennessee this weekend. Hope that's a great trip for all involved. Farragut heading to Cleveland next Thursday night to wrap up the regular season. We've gotten you scoring plays, we've gotten you team stats and individual stats. There really aren't too many scores tonight, but Tyler, if you've got anything you want to throw that along, feel free to.
I will find something for us to report scores on. Don't worry about that. All right, let's see here. Jellicoe knocks off Hancock County 38-14. Unicoi County defeats West Green 42-0. Jellicoe moved up to 3-5 on the year. Unicoi County goes to 7-2. South Pittsburgh up on Copper Basin 79-7 at the start of the fourth quarter. Whitwell is up on Joe Burns, 15-7. Shelbyville at
Good
the
job.
half, 21-0 over Hendersonville. Brighton up 21-7 over Millington.
That's over in the far western reaches of the state. You're over in
I'm just
Shelby County with
I'm
Millington.
finding what I can.
Yeah.
Oh, these are good.
Hold on, we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. LA Chargers are up on the Minnesota Vikings 21-3 at the start of the second half. South Alabama up on Georgia State 28-17. The Predators tied 1-1 with Vancouver Canucks in the third period in the NHL. I don't know how to read tennis scores, or I'd read you some tennis scores.
I can do that for you.
Oh, man. What a night.
Beautiful night for football. Unfortunately, didn't go the Admirals' way. It was pretty much all Oak Ridge as the Wildcats led 14-0 after the first quarter. They led 24-7 at halftime. Farragut got it to 24-14 relatively early in the third quarter, but Oak Ridge answered Farragut's score with one of their own, just as they had in the first half. And so it was 31-14 heading to the fourth, and the Wildcats outscore Farragut in the fourth quarter 14-7, resulting in the final score of Oak Ridge 45, Farragut 21. And so let's see, we've got our Blair House Antiques players of the game. And also, too, by the way, I want to mention while I'm thinking about it, usually these games are still played between Farragut and Oak Ridge. Sometimes JV games get canceled late in the season. But Farragut played both a freshman and JV game this past Monday against Maryville. Unfortunately, they lost both of those games, but good opportunity to play. It had been a long time since those teams had an opportunity to play. And so they're scheduled for freshman and JV action against Oak Ridge this coming Monday here at Farragut High School. And so hopefully that goes off. Nicely done. Hopefully that goes off without a hitch, and Farragut freshmen will play Oak Ridge at 6 o'clock Monday, and then the JV game would follow at about 7:30. So that's coming up Monday, and again, our final game of the regular season coming up a week from tonight, Thursday night at Cleveland. And so the
Players of the game?
Yeah, the Blair House Antiques players of the game, our last order of business, I suppose. You know, and guys, defensively,
I want to throw out a wild card name I think you guys are going to like.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Von Schirach.
Yeah, we're gonna recognize the young man from Oak Ridge.
I was so excited to throw him out there on a great play. And we just really excited to say his name. You go, that's actually.
I'm sorry, that's Liam Gerber.
Liam Gerber. Sorry to
I'm
update,
sorry,
sorry to update your program, sir.
Liam's another former Robertsville Ram that I wanted to make sure I got his name said tonight, okay?
But that's on me, Brett, because I didn't get your roster updated.
Well, I thought you were going to say his name was like Rajanowski, and they just didn't finish his last name. You're like, no, that's not him at all. But if we can.
The Max Preps roster was wrong. Tyler alerted it to me. I got it changed on my roster, but not on yours.
It's like Tyler said, no commercials. It's a wild time.
We are just sort of we're giving everything we got, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
you said, like I said, it's been a tough year. Obviously 2-7, but technology-wise, it's been a tough year for you. You've been frustrated, obviously, but you know, just all around, it's been tough. Players of the game, I need to be, you know, I need some help here. I'm trying to figure it out.
We talked last week about the fact that Max Garfield was kind of honorable mention. We went with Ryan McHugh because of the career-long 50-yard field goal, and but Garfield had himself a nice game last week. He continues to be a big play receiver for the Admirals with 2 more touchdown receptions tonight, a 36-yarder and a 58-yarder, and then 137 yards on 3 receptions tonight. When the Admirals didn't get a whole lot outside of those passes to Garfield done tonight, I mean, he's a pretty easy choice in my mind for the offensive Blair House Antiques player of the game.
Yeah, 36, 58, and then, 43?
Yeah.
So he had, and honestly, early in the year, thing about him is, in all seriousness, I thought he was going to be a first down maker, right? I thought he was a possession receiver, a guy that would get you first downs. And ever since that Maryville game, right, like when he hit that one, it's like, this guy can make some plays, and he's continued to do so. So, Tyler, I think you got to go with Max Garfield, 3 catches, 137 yards, touchdown for offensive player of the game.
I agree 100% with you. And you talk about earlier in the year, you thought his role was going to be that first down maker, that possession receiver. when you don't have Ethan Farhat torching
more so,
people
yeah.
now, you've got to take what you can get. And Max Garfield is taking every opportunity he can for the year now. I'm looking here, looking. He had now his 24 for 361 coming in tonight. Now up to 6 touchdowns on the year, so I've got to go with that. Defensive player of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Connor Paris's name was
Yeah.
mentioned quite a bit. Harrison Smith's name was mentioned quite a bit. I feel like Dinkle and Patowski's name were mentioned, like always.
Yeah, those are the ones I saw circled.
You know, so I think that you can go with any one of those guys. Brooker had his usual game to where we're calling his name a lot.
I kind of like, and part of it, we did call his name, I feel like, about as much as anyone. But part of it, too, is that he's perhaps been under-recognized this year, and that would be your leading tackler on the season, Connor Paris. We have not selected him as our Blair House Antiques Defensive Player of the Game this year. He comes in with 63 hits, first on the team, 2.5 tackles for loss. And he's just that guy that, he's managed to stay out there this year. He's been able to stay healthy. And he's just continued to make plays, and you felt like tonight it wasn't necessarily an exceptional game for him. It's just kind of what you come to expect, and that is week in, week out, he's going to be among your tackle leaders. And because he's there week after week, and the position that he plays, the opportunities that he gets and that he takes advantage of, he's your leading tackler on the team. And I guarantee you, of course, that's not going to change with tonight's performance because he'll be among the leading tacklers again tonight. And the second leading tackler on the team behind him is, 6 back. And Harrison Smith had himself a good ball game. He's number 2 on the team with 57 hits coming in. Harrison was active again, but Harrison was was the guy that we recognized last week.
Right.
Not only that, but you think about what linebackers do in this defense. Connor Paris is responsible for making sure everything's lined up, everything's going right, and you don't, he doesn't probably get enough recognition for what he does. Because of what his reputation is, what the reputation is for that position. I mean, and this is coming from a guy that never played it down for Farragut football. I've always known in this area, if you have a linebacker and he's starting for Farragut High School, he's going to be really good at what he does. He's going to make tackles. He's not going to make too many mistakes, and they're going to be aggressive and headhunters.
Well,
Connor Paris fits that bill.
Well, the thing I'll say about him, I thought he had a good junior season. I think he's been even better this year. But the other thing about him, when you turn on tape and you watch a guy play and you can't tell the difference if they're down 30 or up 10, that's a guy I want in my foxhole. So Connor Paris when he was losing it and we were down 30 and he's making a play and you're yelling, don't get a personal foul, that's how he plays.
Right.
If he's in the game, you're going to get everything. That's a heck of a compliment, you can tell a young man.
Yeah, I like that. Connor Paris will be our Blair House Antiques Defensive Player of the Game. Perhaps should have been recognized earlier in the season, but it's a good opportunity tonight to recognize a guy that's got a great motor and your tackle leader on the team. And certainly one of those guys you can point to as kind of a heart and soul of the defense, along with a few other guys there too, certainly. But Connor Paris, our defensive player of the game, and offensive player of the game will be Max Garfield with 3 catches, 137 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Wildcats win it tonight, 45-21. That means the all-time series sits at 33-18, advantage Oak Ridge. And Farragut had won 4 of the last 5, make it 4 of the last 6 now. And this one, and the last couple of years, has kind of gone back and forth. The Admirals last year, jumped on them, had the big 28-0 halftime lead, ultimately won it 28-13. The year before, it was all Oak Ridge here. The last 2 games here have been decisive Oak Ridge wins. In 23, they won here 35-3. The year before that, Farragut got the shutout, 24-0. And so the games over the years, you've had an awful lot of close games. The last few years, not so much.
4,
because 28-13 last year looks close compared to some of these other scores. And in fact, that was not a really close game because, it was 28-0 at halftime. And so tonight, Oak Ridge gets the somewhat one-sided victory, 45-21. They remain unbeaten, 9-0, 5-0 in the region. They head to Maryville for the region championship game next Thursday night, and Farragut will head down to Cleveland for a playoff clinching game, right, for either the Blue Raiders or the Admirals. Certainly for the Admirals, that's going to be the situation. I might have to dive a little bit deeper on Cleveland to find out if if they're absolutely positively in with a win, I think a lot of that's going to depend on what happens tomorrow night at Hardin Valley for the Blue Raiders. But it's a Blue Raiders squad that's got yet another head coach. They've had, gosh, when Coach Cummings went down there, I'm trying to think who had been there before him, but I don't think it had been a mainstay. And so Coach Cummings was there for probably about 4 years. Then Marty Wheeler was there for about 4 years. Tygard Chandler was there for a couple of years. And now Chris Brown, who had been an assistant under Coach Cummings, he gets his turn as the head coach. He'd been at Red Bank. He left Cleveland to be the head coach at Red Bank and had quite a bit of success with the Lions over 4 years. And then left Red Bank to be the defensive coordinator at Baylor for a couple of years. Now gets the head coaching job at Cleveland. And, of course, the Blue Raiders have struggled this year. Again, they got their first win against Bearden last week, and we felt like we saw the top players coming back for Cleveland from a year ago. We saw them earlier in the year now wearing the black and gold of Bradley Central. And so Cleveland was somewhat
Gutted?
The transfer portal got Cleveland. But then again, it's kind of like some people say, the transfer portal got Bearden. It's like, well, those weren't Bearden's players to begin with, though. So, I don't know with Cleveland. I'm not sure how many of those kids are Bradley County kids or how many of those kids were Hamilton County kids. But regardless, a lot of guys that are difference makers now playing a couple of miles away for the Bears of Bradley Central.
Couple of miles.
It's not far at all. If you can
on the other side of the giant M&M.
Tee up a 3-wood, you might be able to reach Cleveland from Bradley Central.
Well, and to your point, they've had 10 head coaches in their lifetime, right? At Cleveland High School. They've had 7 different head coaches since 2008.
There you go.
Wow. That's a lot of transition.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody speaks very highly of Coach Brown, says he's the guy for the job, so we'll see.
And I like Tigard. He liked us.
Yeah,
Wasn't that the guy that liked us?
I tell you what.
He was a nice guy.
There's some people on some of these message boards that have nothing but negative things to say about him. I tell you what, I judge a lot based upon what does a coach do when I reach out to them for a roster and projected starters, and he was good as gold in getting back with me on those, and he made the special point of coming up and telling us that he had watched video streams in his short time at Cleveland, scouting Farragut or the other teams that Farragut was playing, and so he was familiar with our product, and he was very complimentary.
He was.
That wasn't necessary.
Oh, gosh. We
just
were wrapping up. It was really impressive, and he was the guy that ran even faster than Tennessee's offense,
yeah.
right? They were lightning speed offensively. And they had some when we went up there, they had some real talent too. So like you said, they've been decimated.
He ruffled some feathers because I think he pursued a job out of state, and they found out about it, and they're like, well, if you don't want to be here, here's the door. And so Coach Brown, who had been an assistant under Coach Cummings, brought back to Cleveland after several years away as the head coach at Red Bank and the defensive coordinator at Baylor, and everybody says wonderful things about him. And so we'll see how he responds to the email.
I'll give you the thumbs up, thumbs down.
And if he comes up and says some glowing things about our broadcast, I assume that's not going to happen.
Well, we look forward to it. Hopefully we'll be right back on 105.3 WFIV, WFIV.com next Thursday night from Cleveland. We'll be here on 105.3 WFIV's YouTube channel as well. Either Nick or Tony, who filled in for Nick Blankenship tonight, Tony Cox or Nick Blankenship behind the camera. And we'll look forward to that regular season finale as Farragut tries to earn its way into the postseason. And the Admirals now know that they're definitely, if they get there, they're going to be the number 4 seed. So it's going to be a road game. But it's Upper East Tennessee is not they're not giants. Farragut, whether they were to draw, if they can get the win against Cleveland, if they were to draw Jefferson County, Dobbins, Bennett, Science Hill, hey, you're just happy to be there. Go see what transpires. Just lay it on the line, see what happens. And so Farragut will try to earn that right next week as they travel to Cleveland. 7 o'clock is the kickoff time. Our pregame at 6:15. For Tony Cox behind the camera, for Brett Clendenin and Tyler Carr here in the press box atop Eddie Courtney Stadium, I'm Eric Gerhardt saying thank you so much for listening. We wish you a good night and a safe and enjoyable weekend.